Make sure to type in hashtag Pinkerton Shakedown. Hit that like button. Be entered in the early bird giveaway. Do it. Hashtag Pinkerton Shakedown and hit that like button. Let's go. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
How is everybody doing tonight? I see some names up there that I recognize. How is everybody doing this evening? If you're on the West Coast, you got a nice little you're at the sundown phase. If you're on the East Coast, you're at it's night, man. It's night over here.
What up? Yo. Did you enter hashtag Pinkerton Shakedown and hit that like button? Because I'm about to roll this giveaway.
What are we giving away? Some sleeveys? Courtesy of Dragon Shield.
Courtesy of the channel sponsor Dragon Shield. You got some Dragon Shields coming to you if you win this one. Hey, somebody with my name. That's my name.
Sus.
It's my name. Get out of here.
You did this.
Maximum sus. Congratulations to me. I'm the Hey King.
Oh, God. I didn't know that we were going to get some Hey King vibes. That's pretty sweet.
Joel H, congratulations.
So I was having kind of, I was thinking about kind of how we approach this Pinkerton thing. I was like, maybe we just do like a catch up, kind of like from the beginning where it started all the way up into where it is right now, which is, it's funny because we've seen leaks in the past and I kind of want to make a video about every single MTG leak in like the last 5 years. But some of them are like, uh-oh, what happened? It was a leak. And some of them are like, hey, what the hell happened? Which are much more, have a vibe of, that was not supposed to happen. is kind of like the vibe that I get from it.
Yeah. Like the others were supposed to happen, but this one wasn't supposed to happen.
Like none of them were supposed to happen, but this one was like, what the hell happened here? Was kind of like the vibe. Like some of them are like, oh no, there was a leak. It's got some pretty cool cards in there, but this was like just honestly, in my opinion, not a really great looking product objectively.
Well, it was
just to me.
This whole thing was compounded, right? Because not only is it a huge leak that has narrative implications, big narrative spoilers.
Yeah.
It's also a small set. We don't really get those, but that means you can see pretty much the whole set across a couple boxes.
Yeah.
And so it kind of worked double duty, right? Joel H, congratulations again on winning the Dragon Shields. You get to pick. Do you want Loki or do you want Game of Thrones? Are you a Game of Thrones fan? Or do you want the gray art silver matte Loki sleeves? You
That's
pick.
pretty sweet.
DM me on Discord. DM me on Discord. Say, hey, I'm Joel H. I won the X sleeves on the Pinkerton Wednesday the 26th live stream. This is my shipping address, and we'll get them out to you. All right, so Pinkerton National Detective Agency. I was not familiar. Apparently, you had to have played some Rockstar game to really understand this and connect to this right out of the gate. But now known as Pinkerton,
it's always just been a good Weezer album. Like objectively, like their best album.
Yeah, there you go. That's also a thing. I hadn't even thought of that. But then
this kind of came up, and I was like, well, I haven't heard that word in like 5 years. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. I mean, I'm just happy all parties are okay. But I mean, it's like here again, we have another chunk of footage on our channel. First one was the Ruxin video with the M30 opening. And now this one, where it's like, if you want to watch that, it only exists here because that video was deleted.
We're the quickest guns in the West, pal. You don't want to... Pinkerton doesn't want to go head with us at a sunset showdown.
That's right. We will have set up camp the night before.
All right, listen to this.
I guess earlier that day.
Let me set the tone here. Let me set the stage.
I'm ready.
Pinkerton National Detective Agency, now known as Pinkerton, is a private security and investigation agency established in the United States in 1850 by Alan Pinkerton. Oh, Alan. Little did you know the ripples outward through history you would cause by setting up your little detective agency. The company has a long and complex history that involves both positive and negative aspects. Let's talk about some of the positives first. They've been praised for their role in solving numerous high-profile criminal cases, including the capture of several notorious outlaws, James Younger Gang and the Wild Bunch led by Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They helped with that. Presidential protection. Pinkerton agents provided protection for Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, including foiling the first assassination plot on his life, called the Baltimore Plot in 1861. They foiled it. That led towards the formation of the United States Secret Service. Go Pinkerton. Then in the late 19th century, agents played a significant role in protecting railway infrastructure and cargo from train robberies and other criminal activities. So that's where they started leaning into, like, we're here to protect the interests of the rich. That's about it. Negative aspects, labor disputes. This is what I'm talking about. One of the most controversial aspects of Pinkerton's history is their involvement in the labor disputes during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. They were often hired by businesses to infiltrate, disrupt, and suppress unions and workers' movements. Some of the most notorious incidents include the Homestead Strike of 1892 and the Ludlow Massacre of 1914, where Pinkerton agents were involved in violent confrontations with striking workers.
Massacre doesn't exactly give off a good vibe.
No,
Massacre,
when that's part of your company's history. Oh yeah, there was the Ludlow Massacre.
Yeah, like a massacre isn't like Oh yeah, a couple guys got punched and there were some blows and we had some harsh words. A massacre is some very graphic scenes come to mind when I think of a massacre.
So Pinkerton, thank you for meeting with us today, Pinkerton. We do appreciate it. As we've gone through the resume, really some great work, by the way. Abraham Lincoln, good guy. Definitely keeping him alive. That was awesome. Tell me about the Ludlow Massacre.
Yeah,
the Ludlow Massacre. That's a strong word.
The massacre was we should talk about that. We will talk about it. We'll get to we will end up getting to that.
Then the agency has also been accused of gathering intelligence on political activists and labor organizers, sometimes on behalf of powerful corporations and government agencies. Well, we can add to the resume, sent to a small MTG YouTuber's home.
Old school MTG. They got him.
And to harass their neighbors.
Yeah, I'm going to roll the dice here, and I'm going to guess that this was probably one of the easier jobs for the Pinkerton force. This was probably like, hey, you got those trading cards.
Pinkerton Special Forces.
Yeah, the PSF showed up. They were like, do we need to show you our badges? He was like, what is this about? They were like, you know what it is about, and you're about to feel the aftermath. Hint, hint. It was like, what? The magic boxes? Give them to us. We haven't rolled out the spoilers yet, and this is not a sanctioned leak.
There's a lot of this. I picture a lot of old school bully popping their fist into their open palm while they stare at him and they say, give us the cards. Give us those cards. Delete the video.
Yeah. And then I did see that people were strongly encouraged, if they had any footage of it or any spoilers of it, to delete that footage.
Really? I didn't see that.
That was in an article that I read. There was an article that was linked to me by one of our patrons.
Yeah, one of them was very like, oh, Wizards ask you to write this, huh? This feels like WotC propaganda is what this feels like. I don't know to which article you're referring, but I mean, the thing is we have not been contacted in any way, shape, or form, and we don't hide on the internet. I mean, you can get in touch with us business-wise.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Here's the thing is, based on what I saw, because there have been two pieces of content that have come from our channel about this, other than this stream that we're talking about now. And the first one was a short, and then the second one was, the first one was your video, and the second one was a short about the same thing. And when we see something, we kind of say how we feel about it. Joel, I watched your video and I watched all the spoilers from it. And,
well, I mean, you saw my reaction the first time he explained where he got the cards. I mean, it's not like I was like, oh yeah, this is on the up and up, and I totally believe this guy. He definitely just has them.
What's up, Andrew? There was a very funny moment in your video where you say, well, hope this guy doesn't get arrested or something to that account. And
foreshadowing.
There's people that have been, some foreshadowing. But it's just pretty wild. When I see something, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. Now, if that box had been just absolutely packed full of gas, I would have been a lot more into it. I did see a couple cool cards. There's like an enchantment that you can put on your commander and float 5 mana, and there's a couple other things that are pretty strong. But there's not a lot that I see that can justify the price point. I mean, you're going to get your money's going to stretch a lot further if you just wait when people open it and just go for the singles.
Well, the thing is like this amount of heavy-handedness in enforcing something that was surely WotC or a distributor's mistake. I mean,
Yeah.
Jake, I'll tell you, if tomorrow somehow someone accidentally sold us a box of Lord of the Rings Battle for
Yeah.
Middle Earth,
They were like, I don't know how I got this. This is old. This
Dude.
card game went out of play and no one buys it anymore.
we're opening it on the channel. I mean, I'll just be
You know,
honest.
I mean, it says something about I don't know how difficult it is to even understand what you're looking at with some of these products when you take a look at these boxes and
Well,
you're
especially
like,
this one.
what is this? Yeah. But we've said this before, you know, when we've talked about the singular collector booster packs that go to stores like Walmart and Target, and how similar those boxes look to the regular collector booster boxes.
Yeah.
And so it's like people just don't even know what they have, man. They're just like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's March of the Machine. Yeah, it's obviously some sort of March of the Machine thing. Oh, it's got yellow on the side of it. I don't know what that means. It's like some new March of the Machine product. I deal with Pokemon, so just freaking
Super
sell it.
collector boxes, right?
It's some sort of
hyper
magic
collector
product.
boxes.
Yeah, and so you know, the thing is there have been so many leaks in recent MTG history to where you're like, God, you know, I mean, I remember Ixalan, all of those cards were spoiled.
All the way back
Yeah,
to
it's
Phyrexia, dude. The whole book spoiled. The whole book of all the cards.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, I get that there's like this hype thing and you want to keep the train moving, but I don't know, it's kind of
Clay.
weird.
Clay hit it on the head. Clay says, don't get me wrong, he knew what it was. He was definitely playing dumb at the beginning of his video, but he knew exactly what he had, and he knew exactly what he was doing, opening them and putting it up on his channel. I'm sure he just decided to open anyway, and I don't blame him. Exactly. Exactly. That young man used a blessing that dropped into his lap to try and grow his own little personal brand over there on old school MTG.
Yeah,
You know
I guess.
what he gets
I
if
mean,
he
I
just
guess
calls
that
WotC
that's.
and goes, hey, oopsie doopsie. He gets nothing.
But I mean, you and I could talk a little bit about the channel thesis, though, which is you're like, I'm gonna get early Magic product, and I'm gonna open it over here way before it comes out because
Right.
I've got some underhanded dealings over at this LGS of mine. So I just don't even know about like what kind of channel like you grow over there other than like, oh, I hope old school MTG gets some of that early MTG product every time. So it's like, unless you have some idea for some other videos.
Yeah, you got to
question
have
is,
something
you know,
with
like-
it. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not going to be able to get it like that every time. So yesterday, Wizards of the Coast reached out to Polygon.com, news website for gaming and nerdy shit. Wizards reached out so that they could update Polygon's article with a statement. They said, as part of an investigation into the authorized distribution and disclosure of embargoed product, we repeatedly attempted to contact an individual who had received unreleased cards. After that outreach was unsuccessful, we sent some muscle to beat that nerd up.
Thank God they did.
That's not what the official statement says. After that outreach was unsuccessful, an investigator visited him and asked that he reach out to us as part of our investigation and return the embargoed product and packaging. He agreed to do both. The unreleased product will be replaced by us with the product he intended to purchase. We appreciate the individual's cooperation, and the investigation is ongoing. Better video would have been to fly up to Renton and go to their headquarters and open it up in the lobby, pack by pack. Just sit there and go in and say you have a meeting with Mark, and you'll just be waiting. And they're like, we don't have you on the books. And you'll be like, oh, he'll come down. And then you put a phone on me, and I'm like, hey, what's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be opening up Aftermath from March of the Machine. This is a set that is not even spoiled yet. And then I take the phone from you and I film you and you're like, hey, what's up, YouTube, everybody? Everybody, make sure to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you got that notification bell on because we are getting into it. And then I take the phone and then you take the phone back and I'm like, let's start with this first pack. And reception's like, y'all have to stop. You can't be doing that in here. And I'm like, meeting with Mark Rosewater, or we go a pack every 5 minutes until he comes down. And just really
cut to those guys on the plane in Air Force One right after they take control of the jet.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we open up the entire box in the lobby of Wizards of the Coast. It'll be fun.
Food Time says, so where's the Pinkerton info coming from? Just old school? I believe so, yeah. They could have had this whole thing work for them and take over the story, and then they proceeded to do the absolute worst thing possible.
Sounds like Wizards of the Coast PR, baby. Sounds like the approach. Knee-jerk reaction.
You know, you were low on the product, and then I called it booty cheddar. And, you know, there were a couple like new kind of looking foils in it, which maybe that's supposed to be the big push of this thing, is there's like a new foiling in it that we haven't seen. I did see that there was like some sort of kind of like anime cartoon looking art on one of the cards with like a giant sword, and it has like this look of like being very flashy and different kind of foily. So I'm sure, you know, they have a process to rolling this out. You know, they were going to tell us, spoil a couple cards, get us salivating probably over, you know, there was a land I saw that was kind of good. It's like a counters matters land that puts counters on things, and it looks pretty good.
The alleged incident isn't the first time. This is from Gizmodo.com. This incident isn't the first time the Pinkertons have been dispatched to retrieve MTG cards. Sources who were unwilling to share their names for fear of retribution by WotC told IO9 that back in 2017, Pinkerton was sent out to investigate the theft of an uncut sheet of foil cards from the then upcoming major expansion Ixalan. Do you remember the Ixalan foil sheet?
I do. Yeah.
Another
I remember
big leak.
people having to speculate on some of the cards and guess at what they had. But for the most part, yeah, you could read a ton of them. And I mean, that's not the only time. You know, you see this happen again and again. I need to dig in and do some research, but you know, I feel like we're always like reporting on some kind of like leaked thing, or like some 2 or 3 cards have been opened in packs that weren't supposed to be sold. And
yeah, just off the top of my head, you remember there were packs of Theros in a Walgreens. There was the Ixalan uncut sheet.
Because I remember seeing Calyx. I remember seeing Calyx in the spoilers of the Theros packs.
Yeah, Food Time, I don't fully agree with that. Food Time says when you put out this much product, shit's gonna leak. Like, I have never heard of this happening with another
Agent, what's up?
With another TCG. Pokemon pumps out product like crazy.
Yeah.
Are there major leaks on the Pokemon side? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Dan says result banned from DCI tourneys. LOTR garbage sheets. You said there was a leak about Lord of the Rings, Ed?
I haven't seen that one. Another source told IO9 that after the sheet was stolen, the Ixalan sheet, someone attempted to sell it at the game store they were working. Store recognized it as stolen, called Wizards to report it. Later the sources alleged that a Pinkerton detective came to the store and began conducting interviews with the staff. During those interviews, this is so funny to me. Just picturing this whole thing, Pinkerton involved with Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering. Like, I mean, did WotC be like, were they like, here is a visual guide of the cards that you're looking for? Because they don't know what the hell they're looking for. What are they gonna do? Go take all of his Magic cards? Just go push him over? Leave him in the sandbox and grab all his MTG and leave?
Right.
So they had to have had some sort of like, all right, do you promise this is everything? Show me the rest of your collection, kid. And they like hold up the visual guide next to his cards and they're like, where's this one?
They said go page by page, binder by binder, and box by box. Every card will be checked with the visual guide.
If this person's collection wasn't sorted, they were there for hours, days. They were like, we're going to have to get a room.
Mana Crypt, page 1. Do we see it? Mana Crypt.
That's how I
it's
pictured
alphabetical.
this.
And they get there, they're like, oh, Mana Crypt is not in the set.
All
okay,
right,
you get to keep the Mana Crypt.
Forest. This one's called Forest. What is Forest? Oh, we have a forest in here, but they don't look the same. They don't look alike.
This forest, you get to keep this.
Yeah, you can have this
Llanowar Elf foil. Llanowar Elf foil. You can check the date at the bottom of the card. Silence you.
Sir, this is going to take forever. Hush!
What do you want to eat tonight? The one guy's like, I'm going to go get Chinese for us. It's going to be a long night. We got a lot of stuff to check because we do things on the up and up. They do have paperwork. Every card needs to be cleared.
Do you think that they still wear those top hats? Like it's part of their uniform? I like to picture that they all showed up in Abraham Lincoln hats. I like to imagine that they still dress like it's the 1890s.
Yeah. You know, maybe they wear like a really advanced kind of outfit, but then they wear the tall hats. And it's like a thing where it's like one of the first things you do when you train there is you learn to crouch before you go in doorways so you don't knock your hat at the top of the doorway.
Oh, yeah. That's training day 1. Training day 2 is a little button on your first knuckle that you can press, and the top of the hat pops up and a little tiny 6-shooter pops up and just goes.
It's a drone gun that's like based on movement. It's like,
yes,
you need that for if the wolves come out and try to fight you. Wolf Spain with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Wolf Spain. Not really interested in the Aftermath set except for Sigarda for green, white, angel, tribal. But good pickups are the legendary reprints from March of the Machine, super cheap. Yeah, there's some stuff that, I mean, there's so many cards from March of the Machine from the Multiverse Legends slot that I just need to pick up. There's a bunch of the duos like Galta and Maverin, that kind of stuff that I need to grab. But I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for tons of it to just continue dropping in price. You know, that's the one thing that comes from so many different versions of stuff is unless a card is very good, a lot of it just drops in price, and it makes things very cheap for people that want cool cards for their decks. And so for the players, it's great, but I do see why a lot of collectors are still continuing to go with reserve lists.
Was that Wolf Spain's comment there? $5 super chat, Wolf Spain. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Our stream monarch right now. All hail. Zach G, all hail. Last stream monarch. We also got, before we were even here, somebody bought, I thought somebody
Clay got in with 5 gifted.
Yeah, there we go. I was looking for the
pretty sweet.
Looking for the gifteds. Thank you so much, Clay, with the gifted membos. 5 gifted membos, $15 each. That's $15. I can do math. You said that was Clay G, right?
Fairy Mastermind. I don't even remember that card. I would have to take a look at it. There were, because I did go through and I watched and I looked specifically at some of the cards that were spoiled, and there are like 4 or 5 cards that I would like to have in my collection.
Oh, hail. Clay G.
WotC or Blizzard. Yeah.
Old school MTG goes to the door, and behind it there's a man in full SWAT gear but with a stovetop hat on. Ahoy there, good sir. I must declare myself to be the preeminent gumshoe of this fine metropolis, Detective Reginald T. Hootenanny. I'm hot on the trail of the most unscrupulous knave, a purveyor of purloined prestidigitation, the notorious MTG card pilferer. You see, my dear fellow, it appears that this scoundrel was absconded with a prized collection of cardamom-juggling mooncalves, leaving the local magic tiddlywink society in quite a state of discombobulation. So I've been traipsing about this cobblestone streets, poking my proboscis into every nook and cranny to sniff out this rapscallion and restore order to our fair burg. I don't mean to insinuate that you, my dear acquaintance, have any connection to this nefarious MTG card pilferer. However, should you possess any titillating tidbits, whispers, or inklings about the whereabouts of these card-swiping jackanapes, I would be much obliged if you could share said morsels of knowledge. You see, day 1 of training at Pinkerton is how to talk like an 1890s detective.
Oh my goodness.
For you see,
I do think Fairy Mastermind is good.
You see, it's my sworn duty to apprehend this flim-flamming fugitive and return the stolen cardboard conjurations to their rightful owners. Together we can ensure that this bamboozling blighter is brought to the swift and unyielding justice of our fine constabulary. What say you, sir?
Oh,
are you game to join me in this rambunctious romp for righteousness?
This is 1,000,000% a character that you should play in D&D.
Over the top, Pinkerton... 50s stereotypical detective. Yes,
Agent
Mega Brand.
Fulgore, base department, $5 super chat says, yo, just wanted to drop a few bucks on you both. I recently pulled a serialized Kahira, the Orphan Guard, from a collector box. Sadly, no meme number. Hey, that's sick though. You got a serialized card for March of the Machine. That's awesome. One with Companion.
Clay G coming through.
That gets better with age. The more of those cards that are part of its anthem. That's pretty sweet.
All hail Clay G with another 5 gifted on top. Everybody, if you got a gifted membership from Clay tonight, definitely thank Clay. Clay, thank you,
Clay.
You rock, dude.
Sees modern play in blue-white control too. Yeah, I mean, it's a very strong card. It's pretty sweet. It's got draw built into it.
I like that Kahira.
2/1. So Fairy Mastermind, 1 blue, 1 other for 2/1 flash flying. And whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. It's pretty sweet. Very easy to time. And it has draw built into it as well, which is very good. As mentioned in blue-white control. This card by itself in a control deck, it can win the game. It's a slow clock, but it's a clock. It's a 2-power clock. And in control, all you really want to do is draw cards. So if you have counter in your hand, you just swing with Fairy Mastermind. And then on their turn, be ready to counter something. And if they don't do anything, EOT, draw a card. It does say each player, but yeah, you can keep your hand full with this. It's pretty strong.
We're talking about Ledger Shredder?
No, Fairy Mastermind.
Oh.
A new card for March of the Machine.
Oh, I see.
It would hang out with Ledger Shredder.
Yeah,
it would hang out with.
This one was announced. This was one of the early ones. This is that World Champion card. Yeah, sounds of sushi. That's what Jake was saying. Pinkerton to us means means Weezer. It doesn't mean you're in trouble with the kind of law. Except they're not law.
That's such a good album too. That's so good. You know, I wonder. I'll tell you one card that I'm high on is the Ancient Imperasaur. Looks really good. Convoke Dino.
What are we talking about now? March of the Machine cards?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just talking to Chad about some stuff. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, and we can put a button on the Pinkerton conversation, is just, you know, guy got some cards, he opened them. Kind of unprecedented for Wizards of the Coast to send, for lack of a better term, some thugs over to, you know, kind of like enforce the rules.
Yeah, I mean, turns out they had done it. They have been doing it. This is just the first time that anyone was like, I mean, it just feels like old school MTG probably got a little shocked, but also wasn't like scared of the whole thing. He wasn't scared to be like, yeah, it was Pinkerton. They came and tried to intimidate me. Made my wife cry. Asked the neighbors questions. Hey, do you see people going in and out here with a lot of cards? Like, what the hell are they talking to the neighbors for?
Yeah, exactly.
Does old school MTG live there? They're like, who?
They're like, you know who, you know exactly who. And it's like
and
one guy gets out and hits somebody in the stomach. Yeah, exactly. Shoot him in the leg. It's like some dad who's just like, oh my God, I'm trying to get my kid to baseball practice.
You know who old school MTG is. Give us the aftermath cards. We're looking for Nissa, but not a planeswalker. And they're like, I don't know what you're saying.
All of a sudden, Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the backyard, and finally it's starting to make sense a little bit.
That's making it make sense?
Yeah, I think at that point you would imagine that there's some sort of like time thing going on, and so like maybe they're after some sort of special cards that future Arnold only knows about. It's kind of like,
I thought you could stop me. Yeah, dude,
yeah, he's like after the cards.
I'm 2 years and 8 sets ahead of you. You'll never stop me, wizards. And then he phew, and then he disappears
like,
again.
buy masterpieces.
Remember, everybody, buy reserve list. And then he
Mana Crypt masterpiece is $5,000. Yeah, no, it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. I would have just like, if I were them, I would have been like, all right, we need to get this. They did get it under control, but I think it could have been done with like a kindly worded email too. I don't think it needed to be sending people to the house. I think with an email you say, hey, you need to send those cards in, you need to pull the video, and you're not going to have any more problems from us. And I think that would have been probably enough to suffice, you know. But I mean, if you have connections at YouTube and you can look up somebody's address and you can just be like, all right, let's go to their residence. I mean, that's some pretty wild power, man.
That's why I register everything related to our business to a P.O. box. You'll never find me, wizards. I'm loose in the time stream with Arnold.
That's right. That's a good way to say it. Loose in the time stream with Arnold. Mega Brain, thank you. Mega Bran.
Should we tell them about the Commander Masters 4? Not yet, Arnold. Not yet. But the Black Lotus reprint? Not yet, Arnold. Not yet.
Is it just me, or has Wizards become terrible at keeping a wrap on things over the... Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that. I mean, that's a video that we could probably make, which is just like, you know, every WotC leak that we can think of, you know, just every time this happens and what were the repercussions of each, you know. Wolfsbane with another $5 says, new Sigarda is a great green-white human and angel commander. Grants all other permanents you control hexproof and allows you to look at the top card and cast humans and angels. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I'm just taking a real quick look at our channel. I just searched the word leak on our channel, and we have covered a leak 15 times.
Oh, Quantum, that's a good note. They found Old School by looking at the LLC that was the receiver on his PO box, and LLCs have registered off. Okay, got it. Bobby Z, what's up?
Luckily, we're registered as a general partnership. I don't think our actual addresses are on any legal documents. I don't think.
You never know.
But honestly,
just fired off a 34-point Chandra's ignition. Holy cow.
If they want to come visit, let's go, baby. I don't know where Old School MTG lives, but I live in the state of Georgia. That's all I'll say about that.
Do you think it just has to do with an amount of product they pump out? Now there's bound to be a major slip up. I think that people genuinely might not have known what product they had. I think the store that sold this guy this product may not have known what it was.
I think he knew what he had, but I don't think the seller knew. That's kind of my vibe.
Yeah. Like if you're a Pokemon player or a Digimon player, when I'm looking at card games that I don't know what they are, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Magic, it's like it's like they live and I can see through the product and I know exactly what's inside of it and whether or not I want it or want anything to do with it. But like other products, I'm just like, I could be looking at, you know, freaking candy, and I wouldn't even know the difference if it's like, yeah, dude, it makes, that was probably a poor way to relate it, but yeah.
Atlanta's not a crappy city. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, I mean, if he lived in Florida, look, I live in a part of the country where people put markers in their yard so that they will know at a glance, looking across the yard, when someone is on their property or not, so that they can take action as they decide. So I'm interested to see exactly where all this shook down. We've used the word leak, Jake, in 15 videos on the channel. We've got...
Okay, so what was our first leak?
The very first leak that we ever covered on the channel was Dominaria. The video is called Did WotC leak Dominaria on purpose, and when will card quality improve?
Jake and Joel are weekly.
I have to give some bad news to these two young chaps that posted this video on 16 March 2018. Card quality's not gonna improve anytime soon, pals.
And you should definitely not buy the Commander Legends product. No, not Commander Legends. Why can't I remember the name of it? God, what set did Jeweled Lotus come out of?
Commander Legends.
That is the name of it.
Yeah. Look at this video. This was our very first time we ever covered a leak. For some reason, we've got footage of the bomber.
A B-20, like a bomber? This is ridiculous. This is great.
Look at this. No visuals. I'm trying to scrub through this video.
Hey, look, it has chapters. This video has chapters.
Yeah, this chapter is just called Puppy, and it's 2 minutes long. Who knows what the hell that is? So, Saga cards apparently was a thing that got
leaked.
I don't know. I don't even remember this
sagas
leak.
Were leaked. Got it.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. But then we also covered, let me make sure there's not any. No, yeah, we can look at this. We can look at this on stream. So the very first time we covered leak, it's behind my picture here, but did WotC leak Dominaria on purpose? Then we covered the massive Theros Beyond Death leak. That was the one that was found in the Walgreens, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Got it. So it wasn't like massive.
Secret Lair Thalia got leaked early. Ikoria Godzilla.
Look at that massive Theros Beyond Death leak that we covered, and it got 328 views.
That's the game. Zendikar Rising. We had some leaks there, apparently. Commander Legends leaked in a major way. So much that we did another 13-minute piece on it. Secret Lair Mischief leaked. Phyrexia Foils leaked ahead of time. A bunch of Phyrexia leaks from All Will Be One. Atraxa leaked a day early and showed off Battle. The D&D movie Secret Lair leaked a couple days early. What Battles Were leaked a day early.
Hold on 1 second. I have somebody at my door.
And
Give me just a moment.
Is it Pinkerton?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Everybody, prayer hands in chat for Jake. We might be being visited live on stream by Pinkerton. Hang on, I'm gonna move his video a little bit so that y'all can see. All right, don't know what's happening here, but y'all will all help me witness this. We will see. Everybody get your fists ready. We might have to punch our way out of this. I'm not making any promises, but we might have to punch our way out of this. Oh my God, how crazy would it be if we get involved in this story right now? How would they have been able to track down Jake's address? Didn't close the door all the way. All right. Jake left. Jake went with Pinkerton. Chat, we were just live visited by Pinkerton right here on the stream. Jake, we were talking about Pinkerton live in chat. Jake heard a knock on the door and got up and walked out. This is not a bit, I promise. I know we do a lot of bits on the channel, but this is not a sketch. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't really have a lot of answers right now. Jake's like, oh yeah, no, I ordered 16 burgers off of DoorDash and it took 2 bicycles. It took 2 bicycles for this person to bring all of my burgers I ordered. I gotta find out. I gotta know exactly what's going on. Is this a Pinkerton shakedown? Do we have a hashtag Pinkerton shakedown? Are we at 69 likes yet? Can y'all help us get to 69 likes? Oh, we're at 69. Can we get to 169? Got over 200 people hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you hanging out. If you're not aware of what's going on, you can kind of see I moved the camera over here from its normal view. We were talking about Pinkerton and how we're not scared at all of them coming to our door. And someone knocked on Jake's door. And he got up and went and talked to them for a few minutes. And then came back over and grabbed his cell phone and then left. So we're not 100% sure what's going on. Food time, he parks in a parking garage. So potentially, but that's a lower chance than you would think it would be in LA. Oh, he's back. All right, nobody's coming in to check his cards. Here we go, chat. Let's find out what exactly went down when Pinkerton shook down Jake. Are they gonna make Pinkerton? Are they gonna make you delete the video off the channel?
Here's the thing. I have to sell my cards.
All of them, huh? Do you have to sell your dog?
I have to get rid of my cards. My dog is fine. I get to keep the dog. It was either the cards or the golden doodle, and I was like, well, I'm keeping the golden doodle because obviously if I send the golden doodle away, I'm dead.
Some call me Tim with this $5 super chat said the Pinkertons climbing in your windows, snatching your people up, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife.
Well, it was these 2 guys that were like, I need to tell you about this water thing that we're doing. And I was like, wait, and they're like, we're going around to everybody in your building. And they start telling me about it. And by the end of it, I was like, wait a minute, you're trying to get me to sign up for water. You're trying to get me to sign up for like the big jugs of water. And I was like, hold on, run it back here. And they were like, yeah,
you don't want the cards.
And then they go, it's not mandatory. And I was like,
okay, well, have a
you
good
made
night.
me think this was like a like something that I needed to get do right now. Like, there's an issue with your water. We're going around to everybody right now to make sure that you have clean water because something in your area has happened. Like, that was the vibe. But it wasn't that. It was just like, your water is fine, that you have been filtering through a Brita and all of that is good, but you have an incentive we've got these things that we will set up in your home.
My theory is
you
still
will
that they're
get your-
Pinkerton double agents, and that was all a ruse. It's like, oh, the water's bad, my stomach hurts, call an ambulance, but not for me. Show me your magic cards.
They were like, you buy your first 2 waters, you get your second 2 waters free.
When you did,
was
when you
the-
turned around and came back and grabbed your cell phone, I saw him open his palm and 3 little nanobots fly out into your apartment. And I think they like probably attached themselves to places where you can't see them. And they are now bugging your apartment.
They flew into my ear, and what's going to happen is they're going to bust out of my spine like in Alien Covenant.
Out of your spine?
Yeah, they went on that planet, and some guy walked on something that created a spore. It went in his ear, and then...
Yeah, I don't pretend
quickly,
that those movies are for the plot anymore. They're just kind of fun little spectacles, and the story doesn't make any sense at all.
No, those ones are actually good. It's when it's like Alien versus Predator, and it's made by some no-name director, and there's like one guy from Tremors in it, and no one else makes any sense.
Excuse
Bobby
me.
Z says I'm so lost.
Yeah, us too. Excuse me, does old school MTG live here? Michael Rudolph, I like that as part of the whole thought too, is that they only refer to him as old school MTG. We heard he's from the YouTubes, good chaps.
Yeah, it was these 2 guys, and they carved booty cheddar into my back with a pen. And they were like, you call our product booty cheddar again?
Oh man, that would be great if they start sending out the thugs when we talk shit about anything related to them. They're just like, oh, you talking crap about our foil quality again?
Oh my god, please send a thug over here. That way I can like do a video with them and be like, let's get your thoughts on this whole situation.
Dude, that actually I think would be my gut reaction too, is like, wait, so who are you? Pinkerton, I see. So can I interview you? Would you be willing to appear on camera? Can we use your likeness in a YouTube video? It all started when Mark Rosewater dug up some dirt on me. They've held that over the Pinkerton agency ever since. Rosewater knows my secrets.
Hello? Pinkerton, open up. Okay, hold on. Let me get my camera.
I mean, it's easy to make light of it and make jokes about it because everybody was okay. But in reality, honestly, this happens to our channel, and it's like, holy shit, that's our big break. We start showing up on Gizmondo articles and in Moist Critical videos. Send it to me next time.
Brand it as a tell-all.
If you're a store owner and you're just sitting there going, man, I wish I had somebody to send this Lord of the Rings product too early. Hit us up. Hit us up. I want to pull that one of one.
Oh my god. I thought about what it would be like to open that and rip it in half.
Are you Joel Bozo? Like, yeah. They're like, were you saying you would buy stolen product? I didn't say buy. I asked them to send it to me.
Imagine opening the One Ring and glazing past it because you don't know what it is. And you're like, oh, another One Ring. I opened this earlier.
That's going to happen. Somebody's going to get a pack of that in their Easter basket or something. And
yes, Easter baskets were always a great place for booster packs.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, oh man, it's a great spot for them.
They open it up out of an Easter basket and they're like, Grandma, look. And then they put it in their pocket unsleeved and they run around all day and they forget it's in their pocket and it gets washed.
Yeah, or they like lay in the dirt and they play outside, get in the pool. It just gets nice and water damaged, and they're like, One Ring to rule them all.
Matt Corrales, when do you celebrate Easter? I spread out my Easter celebration over 4 events across the entire year.
That's smart. A lot of people are doing that.
It helps me break up the egg hunting. It gets exhausting.
Yeah. It's like Halloween in LA. You get 2 whole weeks of it.
Oh, Halloween in LA. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's Easter in Georgia. Is we get 2 whole weeks of it.
2 whole weeks of Easter. Everybody's like,
there is an hour actually on the Sunday of Easter where every business in Georgia is required to accept Easter eggs as a form of payment. So, you know, that's when I shop for school supplies, needless to say.
Yeah. Get the Easter supplies.
Got to get those
like
cheap
everybody
5-star spiral bounds. You know what I'm saying? College rule, 5 subject, trapper, keeper.
You had me at 5 subjects. You
had me at there's someone at my door. I'm gonna grab my gun and go answer it.
Oh my God, that's just what we need. Someone's on our property.
Jay Wall knows what I'm talking about. Ah, yes, the egg hours. You know the egg hours.
The egg hours, as we Georgians call it, that's a thing?
We pay our property taxes during the hour on Easter where everybody has to accept eggs.
The egg hours.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. We have talked about the Pinkertons. There was another thing that we were going to discuss tonight.
Yes. Let's invite in our special guest.
Yeah, we have a special guest this evening.
Let me see. Jake, you might have to swap DMs when I do this. Let me see. You may or may not.
Okay.
He's gone, chat. My Discord is resetting. Oh my God, don't let this be Discord crapping out. All right, Spec and Viz, I called you in.
Hello, what's going on?
Spec, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Chat, can you hear that new voice?
Hear you just fine.
Jake, I think your camera's off. Spec, it's all good on your camera. I can only show one on stream anyway.
There we go.
Do you need my camera?
No, you're good. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Here, let me just grab myself a drink. I am parched here after I had that visit from the folks.
Oh my
Jeez.
God, they must be wizards. If you're parched after the water meeting, maybe they have some kind of magic that helps their sales.
I think that's what's happening. They're like, we gave him the QR code and now he is going to be thirsty.
He's going to be required. It's going to be like that attack in, what's the Keanu Reeves movie, that Constantine. It's like the guy in Constantine that gets cursed to be perpetually thirsty even though he's drinking tons and tons of,
with all the alcohol.
He busts into the store and he's just pouring a ton of liquid down his throat and he drowns himself. They're thirst wizards, dude. They're like, hello, we're the thirst wizards of LA. Buy our water bottles or perish.
I'm like, wait, I need to do this? They're like, no, it's not mandatory. And it's like, wow,
is your life mandatory?
The vibe was it needed to happen. That was like the vibe. The vibe was unsettling, to say the least. All right, I'll be right back.
That's what thirst wizards will do to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy our water, but we highly encourage that you do.
Where is the... Oh, this is a whole thing, huh?
This is the spreadsheet I kind of use for all of our EVs for, Dominaria Remastered.
Yeah.
Everything. So
where's
if
the
you look
new
at
one? Is
the
that
new one
winter?
will be... Are you looking for like the specific secret layer stuff? That's the other. Sorry, I have many spreadsheets.
Yeah, no worries. There's
so
a reason we call you the numbers guy.
Yeah. This one has the stats on it. The one I linked earlier is the one that has like all the secret layers on it.
You can see my screen, right?
Let me see. You're sharing it on the call, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, beautiful. So Showcase March of the Machine, that's this one, right?
Showcase March of the Machine. Yes, this is the newest offering.
Chad, we're gonna go through the spring super drop 2023 new secret layer. Jake's gonna go get some water. I actually need to bio and grab some water before we do this segment as well. You'll recognize this video, right? We do a version of this video pretty much every secret layer that comes out. Lately Spectre's been coming through clutch. Mod on the channel, Spectre's been coming through clutch, putting these numbers for us together ahead of even my timing of putting them on. And so I'm gonna go bio real fast, Jake, grab some water for myself, and then
Sweet.
We'll get through this.
Tight.
Spec is on here with us, and Specs not only put together the numbers for our single price breakdowns on foil and non-foil of the layers, but we've also got sort of a comparison of our older layers, and we can look at the top 5 most valuable cards, least valuable cards across all layers ever.
Oh, sweet.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, not ever. I only did it back to the February 2022 super drop.
Okay.
Those are the numbers that I had already. But yeah, I think it's a good insight into how secret layers perform.
I love this. I'm very excited. Kiki Jiki, evening to you. Food Time says it's nearly this whole layer is a miss for me. Yeah, I saw Grand Abolisher in there, and I was like, that's definitely a card I want to pick up. I don't have that. There were a couple other things that stood out to me.
Yeah, I think many of the layers could just be, that hit card, the layer, and you get a little upside, and that's about it.
Right. Exactly. Hafiz says, which layers are a must get? Well, we're going to figure that out. We're going to take a look at it.
I think it really just depends. Like, if it's financial stuff, obviously we can discuss that and we can kind of nail that down. But a lot of it, it's just if you like the art, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much what this comes down to in a big way for me. I wish that I had people that wanted to play cube more, because I think secret layer is a great way to like pimp out a cube.
Tell me about it, man. I just built a Neo cube 6 months ago. Haven't touched it yet. Apparently I don't have 8 friends. So.
Oh, dude. I mean, even if you just wanted to do like, sealed with it, have like a few people build some 40 card sealed decks or something like that, then you don't need 8. You could do like maybe like a 2v2 or something. But yeah, cube is honestly, it's amazing. The few times that we've done it, it's been super fun. And so yeah, it's something that I wish that we did more.
Can you do cube? There's some cube draft stuff on MTGO. Yeah, I don't do.
It's not like the real life thing, man.
So for sure. IRL. Yeah, you can't just get the foil Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you have like cards in there from throughout your entire history of collecting, and so people are asking you questions about cards and stuff, and so it's just like, yeah, it's really fun.
Do you have a cube like that put together?
I do. Yeah, I have. God, I forget the exact number of it. I think it's a 720 card cube. That might be what it is. Oh, wow. Maybe 750 or something like that. I would have to look. But it's been a very long time since I've used it. Oh, no, actually, I'm looking at it right now. It's 349 cards.
Okay. And what are your like favorite pet cards out of there?
God, there's a lot of fun stuff. One card in there that's really cool is my single copy of Unlimited Wheel of Fortune. Oh, wow. That's in there, and it's like a beat to shit copy. It's so heavily played.
So, but I have a thing about, I love my own beat to snot old cards. I don't love buying them, but I do love my own ones that I've had from middle school that are beat up like that.
Yeah. There's some other fun stuff in there too. It's like in a cube, I think you could run something like Jace the Mind Sculptor. even though it's probably not even that powerful, it's still really fun in that kind of format.
I mean, yeah, in Cube and Limited, it's going to be powerful.
It's just like do whatever you want with your cube, right? It's like just have it be fun cards.
That's kind of a life mantra that I carry around. Do whatever you want with your cube, bro.
Yep.
Somebody's like, hey, what do you feel about this? What should we tell everybody to do? I'll be like, just let them do whatever they want with their cube. Let's take a look at secret layers.
Right.
Chat, do me a favor and everybody say hey to YouTube. This will probably be cut out and released later. So you got to right now wave and say hey to YouTube, people watching right now. And also go and comment on the video when we post it and be like, I was there live. All right, everybody say hey to YouTube for me. Here we go. Spring Super Drop 2023, Jake. Death, taxes, and secret layers. Leaks. Death, taxes, leaks, and secret layers. That is the WotC way.
That's right, baby.
We've got
keep it 100.
Oh, dude.
That's what they say, right?
I keep it absolutely 100.
Yeah.
Secret Layer, Spring Super Drop 2023, aka more of the same, but different. You've got
Shout out
60
to Spectre.
days.
We are joined tonight by Spectre. 60 days on this. Man.
Spec, let him hear your voice there.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
That's our mod on the channel, Spectre, aka the numbers guy. We have had a ton of information put together by Spectre here on this secret layer that we are going to make sure we cover. What we're going to do here is we're going to start with Cool Ocean Breeze and just kind of work our way up all the way to the bundles, as we like to do. So Cool Ocean Breeze, Jake.
Yes.
This one has a Luan, Cephalid Empress, a Master of Waves, and a Thassa. Deep Dwelling and a Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah. Oracle is a pretty big deal, and Thassa Deep Dwelling, I don't know if people know, but this is a card that's kind of taken off and become more popular. It is very good. It has a tap ability built into it. Yeah. So those would probably be the two standouts to me. Art looks good on this.
Yeah, I mean, I really love this art style by Lauren. Yes, I'm just gonna pronounce it Lauren Wise. I'm not sure. Spectre, do you know how to pronounce that name by chance?
Why? No.
Lauren YS. Regardless, it's a very aesthetically pleasing secret layer for me. As far as value, Cephalid Empress, $40. Is that right? In foil.
So for the foil.
Yeah, this is an old foil, right? And this is a no reprints. And so if you want the foil, you got to pay that 40. But the real value here, if you're looking in column C, which is our non-foil prices, $14 for Thassa's Oracle and Thassa Deep Dwelling. So almost exactly $30 of layer value on the $30 layer. Huh.
It's crazy.
Thassa's Oracle has seen a lot of printings, mainly because it is in the variant era. So it has a regular version, a foil version, an extended art version, and now a secret layer version. So that's a pretty big one.
Depending on if you want Deep Dwelling for your Blink decks or Thassa's Oracle because you want to go play some CEDH, this one is right on the money. $30 for Cool Ocean Breeze, which is a $30 layer.
I love the colors on it.
Oh,
the colors of all the cards look very beautiful.
Art style is wonderful. Nature is adorable. All of these are Aya Kakeda art. You've got Jiraga Tree Speaker, Nature's Will, Ulvenwald Tracker, and Yeva. Joraga. Is this, Spec, do you know, is this seeing any play in Constructed or any kind of formats?
World
No. In fact, none of these cards do.
None of these in this whole set, or in this layer individually.
Yeah.
I almost put Tree Speaker into a Tali because being able to level it up from 1 to 4 just to have 2 green on a mana dork.
Like, these are cool cards, but, you know, these are the 101st card in everyone's deck.
Yeah, exactly. Nature's Will, is a not as good card draw spell as you can run in these colors. Ovenwald Tracker. It's got some niche playability. Fight Archetype. If you don't have access to removal, maybe you just want that repeated.
It's a good card. Like, I think it doesn't see as much play as it probably should.
It is pretty good.
Repeatable removal.
Being able to pick who's doing the fighting, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like this art style. I do
And
have
it's
to
cute.
say.
That's
Yeah.
the thing to note about Secret Lairs is like
It's a good point.
the cat stuff, the dog stuff, like
The
that
cute
kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Cute stuff, man.
Cute stuff, anime stuff,
Yes.
anything Japanese related,
Yes.
cats.
Cute
you know, if
stuff
it is a
and
cat
anime
thing,
stuff.
It is always like a safe bet. Just like not financial advice is like buy cat stuff, because you think of all the people, like most likely if you're watching this video right now, you probably like a cat. You don't like hate a cat. Maybe there's someone watching this video that seriously can't stand cats.
Let us know down
But-
below. Smash that sub button and let us know in the comments if you hate cats.
Let us know if you do not like cats. Let us know if you love cats. But Spectre, do you like cats?
Yeah. Don't tell my cat. No, we love cats.
Yeah. So now
Went
think
out of my
about
way to
all
get
of the casuals
cat layers.
that
I
aren't
have
even
all
watching.
the cat layers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, same. So now think of all of the casual people that love cats that aren't even watching YouTube, that aren't engaged in that side of MTG, that are just like, oh, I'm going to buy the cat Secret Lair because I love cats.
Yeah, I've got my Secret Lair look at the kitties right here next to me. Just because I was like, well, if I can get it, I might as well. Let's look at the value on this one. $20 of value for the $30 layer non-foil. All of the value, half of the value, is in Nature's Will.
And you can call it value. It just has a
Is Tree Speaker seriously a $40 foil for the World Wake version?
Of course it is.
That's so wild to me.
And I think, you know, there's two ways to look at this. If
Yeah.
you want a foil copy of this to play with, this is a great place to get it, right? Because it's a $60 foil. If you're trying to spec on this, many secret layers. If you see the foil pricing of it, it is exactly the same price as the non-foil once this gets released.
Happens so often.
So don't spec on it. But if you do want a foil, you know, this
I
is
mean,
a great
the
way to-
Atali that I got that was like the cereal box version.
Oh, plummeted.
Oh, it plummeted. I ended up getting that card in foil for less than the regular version.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think you're going to really enjoy the numbers that we do later. I think your gut feelings about cats and anime you're going to see if that holds true or not.
Yeah.
And
Nature's-
the sadness that was the cereal layer.
Both of these are complete scarcity plays. This has only been reprinted in Champions of Kamigawa. It didn't even get on the list around Neon Kamigawa. Rise of the Eldrazi and the list, only place you can get Tree Speaker. So yeah, those foil prices are going to be way artificially inflated, but $30 for about $20 worth of value for Nature is adorable. So let's talk about the one that has everybody either super excited or super up in arms, which is Artist Series Rebecca Guay. We finally got a Guay Secret Lair, and people are just kind of generally like meh. Chat, let me know what your opinions are on this, because we're going to get to some of those as we cover this piece of this set in particular, because this one's been pretty controversial. Cleansing Nova, 5 mana removal, also includes
card.
Sarah the Benevolent. I believe this is the first major reprint.
This is the Modern Horizons card. Correct?
So this has only showed up in Modern Horizons online and now the Secret Lair. So first reprint of Sarah the Benevolent.
Wait,
if you
what
wanna,
was that Jumpstart version of it?
that's historic
That's online.
arena.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, that's the
Thank
online
you.
one.
Got it.
We also get Stoneforge Mystic.
Stoneforge is a very good card to show up in a Secret Lair. This
Dude.
was one of the standouts.
And I love
And
this.
is a
This
beautiful
piece,
card.
yeah, this piece in particular is just so kick-ass to me. I'm just a big fan of this one. And then
Yeah.
we also got Muddle the Mixture, and this is one for me where I'm like, Guay was just like, I'm going there, baby. I'm doing the damn thing. And they were like, all right, you're Rebecca, do what you want.
do whatever you want
on a transmute card is an instant win for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you desire to muddle or mix, I'm your fix.
It's a wild take, dude.
But only since they've had so many different kind of things. I mean, this is like so different. Big departure here. But I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think this layer kicks butt, man. It's more for me, it's whether I'm getting two and not just one.
This one,
yeah.
Value wise,
are you gonna go foil and non-foil?
No, I'm doing. If I do it, it'd probably get two non-foils just in case I want to play Stoneforge competitively.
I'm the only masochist who still buys foil secret layers and just crosses his fingers the whole time.
If it was for Commander, I'd get foils. I do get a lot of foils for Commander, but anything that I would play in Modern and stuff, I get non-foil just in case.
Let me ask this, because I haven't opened a secret layer product in a while. I buy a lot of them and then they sit on a shelf unopened. So at this point, has Wizards of the Coast fully moved into every single pack of cards is in its own little sealed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just opened the newest offering that came, and I've got a lot of the foil. I got like the City Girls and stuff. They were not nearly as bendy and pringly as they used to be. They're not fully flat like the foils that came in March of the Machines. I would say were super flat, like nothing, no issue there. These were still a little bit more pringly than that, unfortunately.
I mean, for anyone who's trying to just get a set of Stoneforge, now would be an opportune time, because you're not only going to get the full set of Stoneforge, so for 120 before shipping, you get a full set of Stoneforge Mystic. You get some Cleansing Nova is pretty lackluster. Let's be honest, as a card, that's probably one of the more lackluster cards. The art on it is really cool.
Looking at the value, Cleansing Nova 45 cents. Sarah comes in at just under 14. Stoneforge, that is all the value here. And and I'm glad that it got a piece that is sort of representative of that.
Mystic, the Lair. Right. But you actually get good upside with this. Muddle the Mixture sees play. The transmute is relevant.
Right. And to my knowledge,
but
that's
then just getting Sarah the Benevolent on the side is pretty sweet. That's not just a throwaway. No. Sure, it's going to go through a big price correction, but that's definitely a card that's notable.
It's solid upside, right? It's not like a $1 card. Like it's not like a Master of Waves or
it is
right. Like you get good extra stuff with your Stoneforge purchase.
And you get the secret card in the pack that may or may not be good.
It's gonna be a sliver most of the time.
Great.
Muddle the Mixture. This one has definitely needed a reprint. $5 common from Ravnica Cydia Guilds, and it's only been reprinted in a really hard to actually obtain after you order it Commander Precon deck.
Yeah.
So overall, $52 worth of value for the $30 Rebecca Guay layer. Just know that, I mean, the Stoneforge Mystic pays for the entire box at its price right now, and that is one, not financial advice, but my gut says that'll go up over time. That one card out of here. And so I would
love to know that the foils are just going to be absolutely flat, because that one for me would be probably one where I just go and splurge and get the 4 foil.
It won't be.
Now the next one is Grand Abolisher, the secret layer.
I was going to say, it's a very one card centric layer yet again, but holy shit did Randy Vargas go hard on this piece and was just like, oh, I'm gonna make the Grand Abolisher that you want to pick up. Look at this dude. Look at this dude's eyes. Look at this dude casually holding an enormous claymore backwards with one hand.
Bro, this card has, I mean, it's needed a reprint for a while.
Oh yeah,
this is a card that had a ton of hype, because I remember we were playing around this time. This card, when it came out in Magic 2012, it had a ton of hype behind it. And then during that standard season, the price corrected in a big way, and the card did not see a lot of play. And so the price of it actually went down for a while. But then Commander ended up picking it up, and it became like a CEDH card, and now we are where we are.
Here's
yeah, this card has had some weird price history, if I recall correctly.
This is the chart of what Jake is talking about. Came out M12, and we're talking $5, $3, $4
Bro,
card.
it had so much hype when it first came out. I don't know if the price was big, but I do remember seeing this card. It being like a bear that just has so much upside. It's such a Staxy card, but Commander wanted it. Commander made it what it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's very representative of a huge spike from 20 to 21, because that's when everybody was inside playing Commander, right? Trapped in houses. And
scarcity really took over the card too.
Right.
And if CEDH was really taking off, and I mean,
2014 we get a reprint, and then Archenemy Bolus we get a reprint, and that's been it until Secret Lair Grand Abolisher. Also, for your troubles, you get a Selfless Savior that is definitely meant to pull at your heartstrings here.
Look at, they put a dog on it.
This is Vargas's actual old dog, to my knowledge, from
awesome.
his tweets. Yeah,
Also love that it's
Giant
just like,
wiener dog.
yeah, it's like a 12-foot Dachshund.
Oh yeah, dude. It's a huge dog. A Chroma Angel of Fury and a new treatment. This is one Chroma Fury. This is one that's been reprinted quite a few times, around $1. It's never really been huge. Planar Chaos is where we first saw it. And then we've got Jeté as well. And so,
yeah, this is pretty sweet.
You know, for Jeté, we're looking at a $10 card. I mean, look at the spread on this. A $30 card, a $10 card, and 2 nothings.
Yeah, I mean, and you can see the pattern, right? It's basically been 2 sweet cards, or 1 really sweet card and something decent, and then 2 garbage.
Couple nothing burgers that are just like,
and
hey, it's cool.
I don't know if you've noticed, 4 cards every set. They've cut the 5th card from the standard layers for this offering.
4 card layers. It seems to be that way.
Every single set is a 4 card layer?
Correct. Except for the March of the Machine stuff, but yeah, all these standard ones have been cut down to 4 cards. Now, the Artist series used to just have a land as their typical 5th one that was drawn by the artist, but we don't even get that anymore.
Wow.
Jeté here. This has got to be the preferred art of this now, right? To my memory, yeah, it was just a hand.
Oh, that one's pretty sweet though. Yeah.
And so, I mean, this new one with the legend here on the art in some sort of, you know, courtyard, very stylized courtyard. Very cool piece here. $30 for the Abolisher, $10 for the Jeté, $41 of value. Let's look at this. I mean, yeah, dude, look at this. Big card, cool card, nothing burgers. Big card, cool card, nothing burgers. Let's look at the next one. Artist series, Elena Danner. Big card, nothing burgers.
Yeah.
We're looking at Elena Danner next. We've got
so whenever WotC says they don't know what the secondary market is, they're like,
all right, now this one's pretty sick because exactly, Spectre. Exactly. This one's pretty sweet because angels are a very popular tribe. And so for players that want some variants on angel stuff, this seems like a good place.
Elena Danner comes with Sunblast Angel, also comes with Linvala, Keeper of Silence, in
that's a good one.
A beautiful treatment here.
Yeah,
that's
really sweet.
This sort of reminds me, I want to see what Danner has done in Magic.
I gotta say, these angels aren't doing it for me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think her landscapes are a lot better, just in this offering.
BuzzFuzz says the Ameria land is being printed with non-finished art.
It's so yeah. I think it was the Seraph Sanctuary. One of them, basically, they included a not the final version of it by accident. That's what went to print. So they're not fixing it for this layer. You're just going to get the unfinished art, and then in future layers, they are going to include the finished card as one of the secret offerings.
If you're looking at the screen right now, you're recognizing some cards. Okay. This is Elena Danner's art across MTG. You recognize some pretty classic pieces here, including the enormous Jeweled Lotus. So this is the artist of Jeweled Lotus, banned in Oathbreaker. This is the first time I've ever seen Oathbreaker listed on there. Go Oathbreaker, y'all did it. Linvala, Keeper of Silence. We also got Ameria, the Sky Ruin, and then we've got Seraph Sanctuary, and you can see here See if you can find the unfinished piece of this art that made it to print, chat. Made it to print. And this is what we will end up getting if you order this layer. Can you see where Elena just sort of shadowed out the foreground as a concept? I'm sure she was like, all right, so this is what I'm thinking. What do y'all think of this? And they were like, send it to print. She was like, wait, hang on.
This is what happens when you keep all your PNGs in one folder and you just send it off.
That's right. That's absolutely right. What did I say? Background? I meant foreground. Y'all know what I meant. Y'all know what I meant.
So we'll see the real art here in the future for that one. Okay, got it.
So curious though, which one actually commands the higher price whenever, they all finally come out?
Well, are we even gonna get a correction on this? It's all just gonna be like this, right?
No, Spectre was saying they are.
They're gonna put So this card isn't being fixed for the layer. The Elena Danner layer will come with this. Now they do have the finished art, and they're going to include the new updated copy as a secret card in future layers.
Interesting. Yeah. So as you can see,
final draft.png.
Open image in new tab. What you can see here is
what that turns into.
What we were supposed to get here. Oops. Except it's just marker marks.
it's honestly, it's a fun little story. Fun little story.
And so, which, MTG people love their mess ups, right? So does this mess up one command the higher price, or do you think the smaller printed actual fixed version will?
I think that the meme here should be that whenever Elena goes to shows and conventions, she does little altars over that spot for people on this card. That's what I would do. I would be like, all right, what do you want over your castle in the front?
Can you sign proof on this?
Yeah.
So looking at the value again, banger, crap. We got 1850 for Amaria. Wait, Amaria the Sky Ruin?
Yeah, dude, this is a great card.
This is an $18 card?
Yep.
Scarcity. Yeah.
Hang on a second.
This is an old one from when we first started playing, and it was a bulk rare for a long time.
I bet this makes it into like the new Commander set.
Dude, I thought that this was like bulk from forever ago. I'm just looking at my crap binder.
It was, for a long time, it was bulk.
I mean, you know how much of this set we bought, Jake?
We did. We opened a lot of this stuff. We opened a ton of it.
Yeah, I'm not sitting on any. I must have gotten rid of them at some point.
Yeah. It's one of those cards where once it rotated out, we didn't really keep any copies of it because you only needed one for Commander,
Yeah, right. That's my
I do remember, I think Dom had maybe 3 or 4 of them.
It's my OG binder, chat.
Yeah.
All right, so this value it's there, $37.30 for a $30 secret layer.
That one for me is a pass, and the thing is it's because I just don't play Angels, and I barely ever play White as
Mono
is.
White too, yeah. I'm passing on that as well for exactly the same reason. But if you play Angels, I think that's an easy pickup if you need those cards.
Yeah.
We've got 3 different versions of Showcase March of the Machine, and so these are legends in their legend treatment, in their home plane treatment, that were not in the main set because they wanted to carve some off and make a secret layer out of them and make some more money. They're all Halo foil.
Brand, thanks for hanging out.
That is the only option here. Only option is Halo foil. $50 only option here. These are 5 cards instead of 4. All 3 of them. What we get in this one,
got?
Misdirection in the Showcase Strixhaven.
Okay.
This is free, change the target of a spell. If you got a blue card, you can exile. We got Utvara Hellkite.
Big old booty dragon from forever ago.
I mean,
from
if
Alara
there's
block.
one thing that sells that's not cuteness, Jake, it's big dumb creatures that make big dumb creatures.
Yeah. No, this card is actually, this card is not that bad.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking Boggart and Hellkite, and it's a lot better. It's a lot better than Boggart and
Utvara's
Hellkite.
good.
Yeah, it's a good card. It's a good card.
Kogla, OG Titanate, in that
This card's
Ikoria
good, too.
treatment. It fights when it comes in. When it attacks, it
Kogla.
destroys artifacts and enchantments, and it can gain indestructible.
What's kind of a bummer about this card is, wasn't Kogla a freaking one of those like Walmart promos that like billions of copies were printed?
Yeah, Kogla is such a cool card, and Kogla is worth less than $1 in every treatment, and it's a bummer because he's so neat.
This could have been something else, but I mean, it does look cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the cool version to get, right? Nyx Bloom Ancient in the
This is
Constellation theme. I mean, this is a win con green card. You know, I think that probably without even looking at the prices, this one's gonna be up there. And then we also got Jorah Weatherlight Captain, which is a fantastic treatment of a good commander. It says draw a card, you know, and it's on the cast, so it's a playable card, not super expensive, just because lots of versions were printed. Nyx Bloom, $18, almost 19. Utvara's half a 14.5, and then $2, $3, and then nothing. So $39 worth of value in this $50 layer. Kind of poopy for volume 3, huh?
Right. I mean, those are the non-flow prices. Obviously, I included those because, you know, it's important to know.
Nyx Bloom, for example, this is a card that only has a printing in Theros Beyond Death.
Right.
It has all of the Theros printings, the extended version and all that stuff. But you know, I don't see it eclipsing its current price. I mean, this got up to a $20 card. That's pretty strong. So I mean, this is the value in the secret layers, the Nyx Bloom.
100%.
Yeah, this is right on the line for me. I have a
This one is a pass for me too, because I actually have that extended copy of Nyx Bloom. So I don't need anything.
Yeah, there's nothing in there I want.
I don't have Nyx Bloom, and I have a Joyra deck that could use, you know, a cool alt art front. So
that's fun.
That's gonna be it,
So it's
dude.
like,
that's a singles pickup for you, man. That's easy.
The Joyra is, but again, I don't have a Nyx Bloom, so it's like
right. You might get it in addition. So volume 2, we've got Higur the Still Wind, legendary ninja. We've got Nezahal the Primal Tide, little finisher for your control deck. Can't be
I remember
countered.
playing Nezahal. I played Nezahal in standard. This was my win con in like a blue black deck. That was my first introduction to Arena. I played Nezahal.
Dude, it's so annoying to kill. Doesn't have trample,
It's
doesn't have
annoying
island
card.
walk, nothing like that, but it's annoying.
a big fat Mystic Remorse.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Really, the critical part of this entire creature is cast a 9-creature spell, draw a card from your opponents.
Yep.
Dragon Lord Kolagon in the Tarkir frame that made its debut in March of the Machine.
This is actually pretty sweet.
6/5, 6 mana flying, haste enabler for all your other creatures.
Yeah.
The last piece of this does not matter for commander, but still. Mina and Den, fantastic, absolutely fantastic landfall commander. One of my favorite landfall commanders. This one is a card that not a lot of people really give a lot of attention to, but I've been brutalized with this in a landfall deck, and I love this treatment and this art of this one. This is probably the card that I want the most out of this set because I don't have it. But then Zancha's also cool in the ink treatment. This is a really cool looking Zancha sleeper agent.
I dig it. I love the watercolor Phyrexian symbol hidden, quote unquote, in there.
Oh yeah. I really like this one. Looking at the value. Showcase volume 2. Oof. Giant oof. $50 layer. Wizards, come on. $50 Lair for $25 worth of value. I mean, what does
There's
this one
a lot
even
of
lean
passes
on?
in this one for me.
What does this set lean on? What were they thinking with this set?
So, agree 100%. There is a tipping point, and I'll show you guys two examples when we get into the back half of this.
Okay.
When layers are so absolutely trash financially that no one buys them,
right?
And they hold value.
It's the same as the basic land packs.
The fungus and the snakes specifically. The sapperling token out of the fungus pack, a sapperling token is going for like $9.
Right.
Wow.
Because nobody bought it, and so it's really scarce.
The financial value of the thing was like $4 on release, so no one got it.
A shout out to Bobby Z, wins the April Jam League. Sidborn and JJJ tie for second. Bobby Z, congratulations.
League commissioner winning a month. Sus. Major sus vibes. What did you do in your favor to secure the win?
This one for me is probably a pickup. I probably do get this one.
So let's look at March of the Machine Volume 1. At least it's got a little value in it. We have seen this one, so we'll fly through it. But the Gilded look from Capenna as a wheeling deal. We've got Questing Beast in the Kaldheim treatment. We've got, not in the Kaldheim treatment, in the...
Play Boros, I don't know.
Where's this? Where's this?
The storybook frame.
Thank you. Eldraine.
Storybook frame. Yeah.
Questing Beast from Eldraine and the storybook treatment that we've seen sort of repurposed into it can be for anything, not just for the...
Yeah, because I was going to say those were supposed to be
storybook frames.
Yeah, those were supposed to be adventure cards only.
Right.
So yeah, they repurposed it.
Yeah, for sure. Olivia in the vampire treatment from Crimson Vow. Voldaren's
and this
played.
Was
and
originally,
Ballista.
when was that originally printed? Was that, Innistrad?
Is that
Or Dark Ascension?
Innistrad OG.
Yeah.
Modern Masters 2017 reprint. And now Secret Lair.
Yeah.
So Walking Ballista's got to be the premier card in this set, right? In the Masterpiece. We've also got World Tree in the Kaldheim, and that
World Tree's pretty cool too.
Matt Sticker killed this piece. This is so good, dude. The Invasion in Progress. Yeah, big fan of that. But Walking Ballista in the Masterpiece frame from Kaldheim. This has got to be the value if I had to guess. Yep. $13.74 for Walking Ballista, $4 for World Tree, $8 for Voldaren, $5 for Questing Beast, and then nearly $11 for the Wheel and Deal. So you got a Wheel and Deal here. How many reprints have we had on this card? This is this one of our scarcity plays? Oh my god, dude. Onslaught.
One.
That's it. This is back from when I played the first time around.
Yeah.
This is a pretty
I like
sweet
that
one.
art.
It's gonna be weird. Because I really like the gilded treatment of the Capenna stuff, but this is gonna be that, but a Halo something. So
Michael asked in chat,
Ballista is actually pretty sweet. Yeah.
why are you using non-foil prices and not foil prices? Because with these scarcity plays from back in the day that they pull from to sell these layers, the foils are artificially inflated, and so it's actually more accurate for us to compare these cards to their non-foil prices, knowing that the Halo foil will offer a little bit of a premium, but it's also the only choice for these layers. And so the only way these will exist
come out? 2004?
2000.
When did Onslaught come out?
Let's double check.
Don't make me feel old.
I believe 2002. Yeah, 2002.
You have something that came out in 2002 versus something that came out in 2023. That's the difference.
Right. And so we find that it's more accurate to not lean on hyperinflated, artificially inflated foil prices of these cards that have only been printed once, that it's more accurate to look at the market price for the actual card, because tendency is for the price memory of that to follow more along its non-foil counterpart if it's a scarcity play, than for it to reestablish like a new hyperinflated foil price.
That's how they get you, though, or not us.
100%.
It's like, Higura the Stillwind, $124 in foil. Oh my god, I can get it for $50. What a steal!
And other
I don't even
cards.
play this card. Yeah,
Right. I mean, when you a prime example, and there's tons of sets that you can look at, but a prime example is 7th edition, right? Because in 7th edition, you have so many foils of stuff that's just like, unsummon. 7th edition foil is like a $25 card.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I've got a Sarah Angel from 7th edition in foil.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So like you have cards that are like $1 or like 50 cents elsewhere. And even the foils are like 50 cents elsewhere. But those old foils, those quality foils, those foils that aren't Pringles, that were made from high quality materials, those are the foils that people want, and they maintain their price a lot of the time. And so this is just some shit that's new, hot off the printer, just came out in 2023. And a lot of people don't know the difference.
The Megatron reprint of Blightsteel Colossus didn't really impact Blightsteel at all.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting.
Yeah. And some people are saying, like, obviously having cool prints of pet cards is awesome, and it is. If you see stuff and you like the art, go nuts.
That's why our caveat of this has always been, don't listen to us. We're just telling you, if you want to go acquire these cards, is this a good deal or not? Because it's a one-stop shop. Go in here, click, 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 and it's being sent to you. Boom. And it's special and new, and you didn't own the card previously, now you have it, and you also got some bonus cards thrown in. But it's all about, do these treatments really speak to you? There are some secret layers that have turned out to be fairly good long-term investments, but for the most part, that's not what secret layer is about. Secret layer is about getting that, oh my god, that's a $30 card and I can buy that for $30 and get 3 other cards tossed in and they're all in some cool new treatment. Bing, bang, boom. I'm in. And so you gotta it's all about personal preference on these styles.
D-Hammer says, dude, old foils curled too. I don't think they were as bad right out of the pack, though. I think that's the big difference, is like, sure, if you left it out or maybe you put it in a deck and shuffled it up and played with it, and, maybe that foil would curl if it were just exposed to the elements. But most of the old foils that I've seen, it's like, if it comes out of a pack, it's flat as a board, like the early stuff. But, maybe there's some stuff out there that I haven't seen.
Look at that Master of Waves. That is a funky Master of Waves, dude.
Those are some scary feet.
I would say the only thing that I would say is that if you love the art but you only need one specific card, then I would say, hey, maybe you don't need to buy the layer. Maybe pick it up as a single later. But if you like 2 or more cards, it's your money.
Yeah, a lot of these layers too, the window's a little bit tighter for picking up singles. It's because it's all based on when they arrive, right? Because that's when the majority of people are cracking them open and selling the extra stuff they didn't want. Yep. And that window closes because there's only really that wave of they all went out and that's it.
Yeah.
And so it's not
that's
like
a good point,
wait
Joel.
6 to 8 weeks. It's more like really watch for when these are arriving in players' hands. Watch on Instagram and on Twitter for when you start seeing screenshots. Go join our Discord. I'm sure people, when they get their secret layer, are taking shots and posting them in our mail day room in our Discord. But you got to watch for these to arrive in hands. And that's not always consistent either, right? Those commander decks, like I was joking about earlier, it took over a year for those to arrive. It took more than a year, didn't it? For those to actually arrive. And so you just got to kind of watch and see when is the right time. So
that is a good point. I think, and I'll piggyback on what you're saying, is it is best to have a price point that you're willing to pay for the card.
Correct.
And when you see it hit that price, you just buy it. And if it goes lower, then it goes lower. But don't try to time the bottom. Yeah. Just like have a spot that you feel good jumping in on one of these cards. Be like, you know what? It's at $20. I feel like once this layer comes out, it's going to hit, get as low as 10, but I'm fine buying it for 15,
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's, and not just cards. You should do a bunch of stuff that way. But I have like a list, like a spreadsheet of like 300 cards that are anywhere from like, and they're just what I would like to pay for them. And some cards will never hit that number, and I'm just never going to buy them. But some cards do hit it, and I'm like, oh, I'll pick that up now.
Imagine the player that said, I'm telling you guys, Fatal Push, I'm not buying Tarmogoyf yet. And they're like, when are you buying Tarmogoyf, Jimmy? I'm buying Tarmogoyf when it hits lower than 15. I'm buying it at 10, 10s and 12s. You're an idiot, Jimmy. Tarmogoyf will never get down to 10 and 12.
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen, Jimmy. I'm going to buy my set for below $50, all 4 Tarmogoyfs under 50. It'll never happen. You're a fool. And look at where we are now. Hey, that's sweet.
By the way, Vargas is auctioning off the original for Grand Abolisher.
That's badass.
Yeah, it's actually one that I'm kind of interested in looking into. It's probably going to be way above the price point that I want to spend on something like this, but it's sweet as hell, dude. That's such a good piece. Ends Friday. You should also follow Vorthos Mike at Vorthos Mike on Twitter if you don't. If you have any interest in the MTG art scene, this is the person who puts together a lot of the MTG art shows at conventions and stuff. It's a good Twitter follow. It's a really good Twitter follow. So, Spectre, what we've got here in front of us now is sort of a summation of the entire thing. So, if you would walk us through what we're looking at here.
All this together.
Yeah, absolutely. Big
So
claps in chat for Spectre. Absolutely killing it on the numbers front. Spectre, walk us through what these 3 charts mean here and how we can use the, further right columns to our advantage.
Gotcha. Okay, so obviously the layer price is what Wizards of the Coast is charging us. The singles price is what the cards are worth right now at time of announcement. So, and these are the foil prices, so obviously they're very much inflated.
I was going to say foil prices here are wildly inflated. Look at Vargas. Yeah. $350, dude. Chat. People watching on YouTube after the fact, you are not going to be able to sell this layer for $350.
God, imagine if you could.
Imagine if you could walk into a bank and just ask for money and they just hand it to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you go into the bank and you're like, here's my $40. I would like to cash in on the $350, please.
Like, yes, sir.
And they're like,
you
how
got
many
it.
of these
no
do you want to buy?
problemo. That's America.
Like, how much time do you have?
Everybody in line chanting USA, USA. As you walk out with $350, you purchased for $40.
Crazy.
I would spend the whole day there converting that over and over again. I would bring my original $50 and that would be enough.
That's actually good. I don't think anybody would think of that. Just pull $40 out of the $350 and turn that into another $350.
Yeah,
now
just ask for another $350. Boom. That's
did
how you
we
do
just
it.
come up with a business?
Is this free money?
Oh my god, dude! This is a plan. All right.
How come no one's cashed in on secret layers yet? Like it's clearly a
H here. This is the differential between our layer price and the singles price, correct?
Correct. And then columns I and J are something I just do because this is what I, just kind of estimate as to when they actually hit the market and people start dumping it on TCG Player or at LGS and stuff.
So that's an estimate for you?
This is just an estimate. So I just put a 35% loss once it actually, to come off the hype price. Once actually, because people will get the layers in and then they'll just start selling them.
Yeah, cracking them and selling them.
Exactly. So I just put that in as to like, okay, so let's just say it just eats this amount of loss right away. Is this still like worth it, for me to pick up?
Sure.
And then that's what you mean by loss differential. What's the simplest version of the equation that this is? The loss differential minus the layer price. Is that right?
So exactly. Yep.
I minus F equals J.
Correct.
Cool.
And we're going to talk at the end, and I'm happy that Spectre's here because we're all going to talk about what we would buy once we get through this.
Spec's got some other cool numbers for us too.
I'm excited.
I think honestly, this is the chart that is most valuable to the average MTG collector here. You've got your layer prices, $30 across the board. I like that consistency. You got your singles price right here. This is the difference between the layer price and the price of the singles included in that. So you can see our Rebecca Guaywan's giving us the most value just off the rip. And again, these are spec TCG market price that we're using here.
Correct.
You got $11 on Vargas and then 7-3, and you're actually losing money on the Nature is Adorable Lair.
Which we already talked about is nothing, and it is that good.
Right. This one here, Jiraga, Tree Speaker, Nature's Will, Illuminwald Tracker, and Yeva.
Cute.
It's cute, and it might fall into that category like Spec was hinting at, that it's a lower purchased layer, thus making it more expensive. It's the basic land caveat, right? We seem to have moved on from basic land sets, but
it's the Eldraine Wonderland effect.
The Wonderland effect. That's exactly right. Nobody buys it. It's scarcer, makes it more expensive. So the basic lands have always been kind of a weird place in Secret Lair lore, because it's $0. Go to your LGS and ask for some basic lands, and they'll just be like, yeah, whatever.
Right. Later storm that Stoneforge though. Yep. MTG Gaming Bob, thanks for hanging out.
35% loss on these pulls them down into the only place you're sitting with any value left is that Gwei Lair. And my goodness, does that Nature is Adorable cost you money to own?
and that's not to say like you shouldn't pick these up, right?
Sure, but, this is just financial.
But in terms of like how comfy am I like the Gwei one, I'm very comfortable that that's going to hold value, right? Because even with that much loss, right, you're still batting above average.
This alone, this is going to be a $40-$50 card.
I mean, if
that
I
would
just
be my call,
card,
not financial advice.
I would just get it even if I was going to lose the money. Like Stoneforge looks that good.
People are going to want 4 copies.
I would get this layer even if it was shooting at a loss, just because of the art.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Big
yeah, that's
Rebecca
fair.
Gwei fan.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, Mystic, that's a really good inclusion. Really good inclusion in there.
So looking at the bundle chart, it's kind of not really worth it to spend a lot of time on this one, just because for the top 2, foils are included, and we've said what we need to say about foil caveats on all these prices.
Yeah.
So across the board, this I think is the single most important piece of all 3 of these, of what you're going to get, market value for the cards included, what it's going to cost you versus what you're going to get for these $30 secret layers. So with all of that said, Jake, let's start with you before we jump into other numbers of historical secret layer stuff.
Sure.
What are you going to pick up? Let's go from the bottom to the top.
So for me, I do kind of like I liked Spectre. Shout out to Spectre again. Mark says, who's the third voice? That's Spectre. Put together all the numbers for us on this one. And I also like what Spectre said earlier when he said, if there's 2 cards in here in any of these that you would use, then, your money is your money. And so for me, I actually like the one that has Thassa and Thassa Deep Dwelling. The Oracle
Cool Ocean Breeze.
Yeah, and I love the popping art on this. I love the color theory on these cards. I like the juxtaposition of blues and pinks and purples, and they just all pop. It all looks really cool. So this one for me is probably a pickup. But then the other spot that I could see me spending all my money on this is just 4 copies of the Rebecca Gwei art. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. I would just go with 4 copies of this non-foil. And I would just make sure that I have a set of the Stoneforge.
Yep.
And then the other stuff, because we already talked about Sarah the Benevolent, is it's not a throwaway card either. And then Muddle the Mixture, we already said it's a $5 common. I'm pretty sure it's played in Pauper. So for me, it's the kind of thing where there are no real cards in it that are completely jank. Even Cleansing Nova is a fine, playable, casual EDH card. And then whatever the secret card in here, we talked about it as well in the one section that you said was super important. You're buying this, and in theory, you're just buying it for a $22 gain right out the gate.
Right.
So this one's really good. And then I did say that I love the Walking Ballista, but other than that, the March of the Machine ones, most of those are passes for me. I might pick up the Nezahal single, but yeah, I would probably just go, if I were spending between $100 and $150, I would just go 4 copies of Artist Series Rebecca Gwei, and then I would go a copy of Cool Ocean Breeze.
Spec, what about you?
I'm leaning towards Cool Ocean Breeze as well. I need a Thassa's Oracle. I play the other Thassa as well. So the high value cards of this I'm running. So, and I like the art. But I do hate Thassa's Oracle, but I'm trying to get into CGH, so I have to make amends with that.
Yeah, dude.
Nature is adorable. I might just spec on this and leave it sealed up. I think it's super cute. I love all the art. The Uvenweld tracker is like chef's kiss. I may snag that little boy as a single later.
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah.
Super cool. And it's a good card. So I'm in for that for the single. Rebecca Gay, I'm in for this. Either 1 to maybe 2 copies, probably non-foil. I don't care if I like to have at least 2 matching copies of a cool art. And that's about it for me. So that's good there. Boy, Randy Vargas. I also don't have Grand Abolisher. Could use a Grand Abolisher, right?
Yeah. But that might be one of those where if that's the only card that you really feel out of that, then that's the single to snipe.
Yeah,
I've got some
thoughts about the Vargas one.
Right. So it's like, but if the Grand Abolisher single is already $30, then well, maybe I just buy it here. But yeah, GTA's pretty decent. I'm skipping Angels, don't care about that. On the fence for volumes 1 and 3. I need a Wheel and Deal. I need a Ballista and a World Tree. So I've got 3 cards in one that I'd like to have. So that one probably is going to get a pickup. Also going to snag Nessa Hall as a single because that Lair's dog shit. And yeah. The Nyx Bloom is really calling me. I'm not sure yet. This one I'm on the fence.
A lot of stuff that's an easy pass. Chat. We have 200 people watching. Thank you so much. Can we get to 169 likes and then we're going to hear about what Joel is going to pick up?
So for me, I really am into Cool Ocean Breeze as well for the same reasons. I don't have I want the Thassa's Oracle for my CEDH deck, basically, is where I fall on this one. And I think that I will use Thassa Deep Dwelling. And the other 2, I don't really know. I don't play Merfolk. This card isn't one that I'm really interested in running, but I like it for those 2 copies. This also might be one where I just try and snipe a copy of Thassa's Oracle as a single afterwards, but I think that's also probably a lot of CEDH players' plans, and so we'll see how that market falls out. Skip on Nature's adorable. I don't really play any format that runs the Stoneforge, and so maybe a single copy of this just because I love it for my equipment deck, but past that, womp. The Randy Vargas one, my gut says the Randy Vargas one, my gut is there's 2 different ways this could go. Grand Abolisher doesn't see another reprint for 2 years. It continues to go up. This is obviously the preferred card. You're able to sell that card for 3 or 4 times what the Secret Lair was like in 2 years. The other version of this that I see very plausibly happening is Grand Abolisher is in Commander Masters later this year.
Yeah.
And this is just a warning that
precursor.
They're like, right, we're going into Grand Abolisher, y'all. We know that it's scarce. We know that it'll sell some packs. We're going in on it. And that Commander Master set is going to have, just like Concordant Crossroads, Vulgar, 100%, exactly like that. This is a signal that this card is about to be reprinted into the absolute dirt. Because that Commander Master set's going to have 6 copies of it.
It's your time, Grand Abolisher.
Right.
Get ready.
And so that's why I'm kind of hesitant on the Vargas one from a value standpoint. I also like Jeté. I never got one of those. I wasn't playing during that set, and so that's one that I would like to own. Selfless Savior is a very playable card, and then there's also the Achroma, and that's sort of a nostalgia play for me. I started playing really heavily around Odyssey, and those were all the characters, and so
Commander Masters comes out in August, so I do not believe we're going to get any more spoilers before this window's out for the 60 days buying this.
No. That would be
purpose.
bad. Yeah, exactly. That would be bad planning on their part. They need to sell a bunch of these just on that one card before that card goes down to $4. Unless they upshift it to Mythic, which I could also see them doing, and you're like, this is a price upshift, huh? This isn't a power level upshift. Yeah, dingers. For me,
God,
the
if they made it
showcase,
Mythic, that would be so garbage.
it'd be annoying as hell, dude. March of the Machine showcases, these are all singles snipes for me. I want Mina and Den, I want Zancha, I want the Walking Ballista, and I want the Hellkite, and maybe the Nyx Bloom. I have to see what the price is on that, because I don't really care about paying a premium for Nyx Bloom. It's one of those cards that comes down on the table and the game should end pretty soon after that. It's not one that's going to get to sit there and you're going to get to admire it. It's like for me getting any of these special secret layers for like one instant or one sorcery or some card that's going to instantly go away. You're just like, damn, I wish I got to admire that card more. But it is what it is.
I love Muddle the Mixture, and I'm just going to transmute it straight to the graveyard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's, I think, where I would go. I am major skip vibes on this one. I am less into this secret layer than secret layers that I fully skipped on. So this one, again, will just be pick some singles up. Probably, I don't buy a single one of these is what the realistic is.
That's kind of my vibe too, is I just want to go in on the Rebecca Gay art for the Stoneforge as a spec. I'm just like, people love that card so much that, like, I mean, I don't really play any formats that need 4 Stoneforge, but
there isn't any card that does what Stoneforge does, which is why it still commands such a tag.
And it had that printing in Double Masters 2XM, and we had a big adjustment in price, and for a while that card was actually a bummer to pull, and then Stoneforge came back with a vengeance, and now it's a big pull. It's a big hit.
That's the Spring Super Drop 2023 price breakdown. You've got 60 days to do this, so don't fall into some sort of fairy tale enchanted sleep or you will miss it. Let us know in the comments what you're going to buy.
If you do make it onto some sort of, reality TV show, as long as it's like, Survivor or something, you should be able to go do that entire show, come back, and still have time to...
You don't have time for a Big Brother contract, but you've got enough time for a Survivor contract for sure.
Especially since they've moved toward these shorter, like 30-day
20 few days. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you'll have plenty of time to do a nice vacation. You could go to Europe, come back, and you'll have plenty of time. Secret Lair used to be 7 days, or God, did they ever do it to where it was like 1 day and gone? Maybe some that cat one.
Some of the one-offs. Some of the one-offs. Yeah. But there's a lot more. Honestly, Jake and I were sitting around and we were like, God, I wish there was an MTG channel that compared Secret Lair time windows to reality show time windows. And that's just one of the many services we offer here at Jajam.
That's right.
All right. So that is that cut. I want to go over this as as a completely different topic here. Spec, what's the best way to walk through this? You think these charts are the most important?
These are probably the most fun.
Okay.
The other ones are just numbers, which I love, but
for sure. Okay, cool. So chat, this may also end up being a stream cut, so go ahead and say hey to YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button. I want to, after we do this little segment, check and see 169 likes. That's going to make me very happy.
Yeah, I think it'll be good to do this, to get everyone's toes dipped into like some of the numbers we're looking at. So when we do go into the numbers, they'll be like, okay, I know what we're talking about.
I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so we can see it.
Sorry, I didn't really make this stream friendly, did I?
No, it's all good. It really is fine. I can scroll across. This is actually good because it's above our pictures, which is kind of tough. All right, so Jake and I are here. We are joined by mod of the channel, Spectre.
Hello.
There you are. That's the third voice you hear in this video. What Spectre has done is gone through the history of secret layers. The other day,
February 2022. I didn't go all the way back.
Got you. Relevant times, because some of those new ones were, no one knew what to expect. And so now we've kind of got a settle out of these layers. When the new layers dropped, the spring super drop 2023, I was messaging with Spec and I was like, he pointed out that they went from 5 cards down to 4 in an individual layer. It seems like that's going to be the new norm. And so I was like, man, it'd be really funny to know what the price per card breakdown is across all secret layers, to see what really happens from going from 5 cards to 4, or are you just losing some chaff card, right? Like a basic land that was thrown in as part of an artist series. So what we've got here is Spec ended up going hard in the paint.
I'm already seeing some stuff that I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm seeing stuff that is from the most expensive to the least expensive in the same layer.
Right. Exactly.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Spec,
pretty nuts, right?
These are your charts. If you want to go ahead and walk us through these first 2 here, top 5 most valuable and top 5 least valuable. And give that caveat again of what our time range is on this.
Yeah. So the time range, we're going all the way back to the February super drop of 2022. That's just where I had the numbers for off the, just what I had saved already. So that's what we're looking at. So top 5 most valuable cards. We have a Troxa, Praetor's Voice. This was a 3-card layer, I believe. Yeah. Not a huge one. It was in the gilded foils. And this card just got a multiversal legend, and you can see the card, like Atroxa itself, it's like a $17 card now because of that new
cool
MUL printing so it's like half the cost. But the secret layer version is commanding a price tag of like $70.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Yeah, it is a really good looking card.
Then we have
New Capenna gilded foil. I remember those. I do remember those. It was 3. It was Legends, wasn't it?
Yep. Then we have Thoughtseize out of the special guest Junji Ito, which looks phenomenal.
I should have bought this one.
This one is so wild to me, dude.
This one I'm kicking myself over this one too.
Can we look at this layer? Is it possible to just look at? We knew this one was going to be good.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't buy more of any of these.
Man. Yeah, let's look at.
Is it possible to see what that layer was? It was I mean, we could go look at past sales and see what was.
I have it saved.
Okay. Oh no, that was it. You were there.
It was an accident.
Wonderful.
Okay, so you got the Doomsday pile, and then you got Thoughtseize, and then you have 2 cards that are nothing burgers that you can find any copy of, but they all have a unified theme. For me, the Thoughtseize, and I do remember when we did the review of this, and yeah, I remember the stuff below it as well. We were talking about those cards in here with Skull Clamp and all that stuff. That Thoughtseize is one of the coolest Thoughtseizes that exists. It's probably the best one. So yeah, $50 card by itself.
Oh,
I'm not surprised.
I mean, it sees play in Pioneer. It sees played in Modern. Like,
it is the modern hand disruption card.
Yeah,
right.
And Pioneer too. Like it's and because Rakdos midrange has taken such a large predominant part of the meta share because of Thoughtseize and Shieldred, it sees even more play. So these cards are worth a lot of money. And when people want to bling their decks out, that's the best way to do it.
I mean, name a better duo than Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek, you know?
Me mulliganing to 5 and then that happening.
Yeah.
Mana Confluence is our 3rd most expensive card.
Yeah, right across the multiverse. This was a big layer. Lots of cards in this one, and it commanded a price tag to match.
I bought 4 copies of this one.
Really?
Wow.
I did. Yeah. This one I saw is a good. It had a big list of cards in it. It had a lot of cards in it. I remember this was maybe was this 6 cards?
Yeah, it was a lot of cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy looking back at 8 cards. This was our 8. One with Bear.
Yeah, I was a little upset with this layer because I don't play any of these cards, and I was, except for Soul Ring, I guess, but I was like, man, none of these cards I'll ever put on the battlefield.
Sure. And we already talked about this. We said, the most expensive is paired with some of the least expensive. Alessio Smiles at Death is one of the least expensive secret layer cards. It's on the other list.
Yeah. And Triumphant Reckoning. Yeah.
Yeah.
the top 2 least valuable layers of all time, or not all time, but in the last 1 year.
That was it. Hey, who's the hero of chat that's gonna know what card you could pull in the secret slot of this? Does anybody know?
Looking at it, yeah, it is. This is just such a playable card. What is the Soul Ring from this set going for? The Soul Ring from this set's going for $15.
Yup. That's a good one.
Yep.
Absolutely
this is really cool
ridiculous.
Soul Ring too.
Yeah, in our review, I had no idea what any of this imagery meant because I'm just a completely out of the loop cis hetero fella. I got really educated on how each of these symbols in here is very representative of a part of that community, a different part of that community. And you can see all the different color schemes in the eyes here. It's very, wide
this
ranging.
is Lauren again. We were talking about her earlier.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
This is the Ocean Breeze layer. Yeah.
So the
I
person
see
who
that.
did Thassa's Oracle, yeah, I mean purples,
I can see it.
blues, electric blues.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Pretty sweet.
So that set ended up being, how much was that set out of the gate?
That set was, I think that was a $49.99 set.
So worth it. And you got 4 copies of that one, huh, Jake?
I did. I bought 4 copies of that. Yeah.
Well, your mana confluences pay for pretty much all 4 of them. It was a $50 set.
I think I got 2 foil and 2 non-foil or something like that.
Got you. So they'll have a little
or was
bit.
it only foil? I don't even know.
As long as they don't
I've got the
bend.
numbers on the other page so we can take a look.
Okay, cool.
That's fine.
Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah.
So Inkmoth doesn't even surprise me because this is a card where the people that want it, they want
kind of
4.
just the price of it too.
Yeah.
But
it's
previously printed, this one.
They did put it in the tattoo layer, didn't they?
I do have one of the tattoo ones. Yeah. So this is the second printing in Secret Lair, and it's still yeah, as you said, you just need 4 of them. It's played in Hammer Time, and that's basically it.
It's a Hammer Time card. It's an infect card.
Same thing as the Thoughtseize, right? The decks that want this want the 4, and if you want this treatment, you need the 4.
It's crazy, bro. Like the 2 cards we talked about with such a high price tag both go in Hammer Time: the Stoneforge Mystic and Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah.
Before Affinity got phased out, a Inkmoth with a cranial plating on it, that was enough.
Mm-hmm.
The Nils Ham Sword of Truth and Justice, huh?
I gotta say, I will buy every single Nils Ham Secret Lair that they offer.
It's very interesting. Let me see what else was in that set. Tireless Tracker.
Tireless Tracker.
Oh, yeah.
It was a Contagion Engine, and you got pulled up.
It was counters.
Oh, this was a good one.
The
I didn't buy this
plus one
but...
counters.
So I bought this one because purely based on art. I didn't care about anything else. I love Glimmer Baron. I love all these little derpy frog suited things that he draws. It's so weird, and I love it.
That sword did go up. That was something that was worth bringing up too, is you don't often get like mythics a lot of the time. Like they show up. I'm not saying that they don't show up sometimes, but it's something to think about. Is when a mythic shows up in a secret lair, is it a good mythic? Is it even a subpar good mythic?
One print mythic. It's a one print mythic with 2 variants.
And it has
base
a very
old.
It has a beautiful focal point in the middle with that yellow coming down on the sword. And
I don't know who at WotC signed off on these cards being in all allowed in the lair, but they let it happen.
Yeah, it's really
it
good
is
value.
A pretty stacked one. I mean, Contagion Engine, holy shit,
like $13, 26.
Yeah, man,
$24 card.
Yeah,
one print list
layer.
appearance, and this one is the one that looks like this with the cute faces. It's cute.
God, so this layer must be like $100 layer then.
Yeah, let's look at it. So sword we have at 40. Contagion Engine's 24. Trackers a $5 bill.
You don't have to do all the math. I have it on the other sheet.
Gotcha. Deep Glow's a $4 bill, and then Trackers a $4 or $5 bill.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wow.
what's the tracker at secret layer version?
This one's at $5.
Yeah, that was the sketch bonus card that they included. So you got 2 trackers with the layer.
Oh, you got 2 with the Lair.
right here.
Oh.
So the Lair was only the 4 cards, and the secret card was the sketch.
Got it. Okay.
Extra copy of Tireless Tracker. LOL to the people that were like, I'm gonna buy 4 copies of this because I really want 4 Tireless Trackers, and you end up with 8.
Womp, womp. But
That's
then
hilarious.
the joke isn't on them, because in the future they have all these extra contagion engines and swords that
Right.
are worth a bunch of money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
That's so funny.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Least
Yeah, those
valuable
are-
cards. Both, we got 2 show ups from the card, the 3rd most expensive card since, you said 2022, the last year.
Yeah.
And
Basically
then,
all of last year through to today.
Wayne Reynolds.
And then DePaula, I'm so surprised. DePaula was junk even when it was in Kaladesh.
Shocker that
Yeah,
the
shocker.
20-cent Kaladesh rare doesn't pop when it
It
gets a
doubled in
special
price.
treatment.
Wait, the vehicles
price.
matter, dwarves matter card didn't pop, that
It
has
didn't
no
pop.
playability,
It's up 100%.
and
I just have to, for my own edification, I have to know. Oh, hang
But
on.
look, you can go 8 cards over a deck.
We got 103 options at this point. I would not. Okay, but let's sort by price USD and see.
wow,
what,
that art style is so similar. That's cool. Okay, got it.
Oh,
okay, so your 8th most valuable card to run is Spark Mage. When it deals combat damage, it can deal a damage to a creature that player controls.
I got a special place in my heart for Blast Miner and Bomb Squad.
Oh yeah, dude.
There.
I mean, I've always been a red player, and so I was just talking about how Odyssey was really when I dug into MTG.
Oh yeah.
And so Bomb Squad, Dwarven Recruiter,
The
Mind Lair.
Thaumaturgist is good too.
These are just all.
Oh, Dwarven Driller. Oh, it brings me back.
Yeah. That was when when I was
Partic
playing.
Miner. These are all
Battle Form.
Joel cards here. Tons of Joel cards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, this was one of my favorite cards early on because I started in Apocalypse. Anyway, that one not really doing it. We got pictures of the floating world.
Yeah, all of this whole layer flopped, which is sad because I bought this one. They look super pretty. No one cares about hideaway lands.
Oh man, these do look awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I care about Shelldock Isle for what it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, I run the white one. I run 3 of these. I'm happy with them. They do their job. I think they're super pretty to look at. Definitely was not worth it financially.
Yeah, look at this,
Yeah.
man. Holy shit.
Yeah, I
$4.
Are those the Lair price?
No, these,
No, these are the current prices for these cards.
Yeah,
I got hosed.
these
I got
5
hosed pretty
trees.
good.
Yeah.
No.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus
Oh
maybe
my
another dollar or
God.
2. Yeah, this was assuming I'm assuming this was a $29.99 layer.
They
And
look beautiful though.
this one's at 5, 8, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12 and some change.
Wow.
Yeah, if
For
you want to
me,
play, if
I
you want to
run
play them,
three-
pick them up now.
I run 3 Shelldocks in mill, so for me it's worth it for under $7 to get my 3 pimped out. I mean, that's pretty
heck
sweet.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, hell
The
yeah.
cards are
dude.
beautiful, but yeah, pick them up
Yeah.
now.
Just have a
They're cheap.
PNG on your phone of the actual text you can use at a tournament to be like, here's what it does. I just have
Yeah.
this saved on my phone.
Yeah.
Playing mill, it won't be relevant anyway.
I mean, let's be honest. I never get to play my card under the Shelldock Isle. No, I do sometimes.
Howtooth Hollow, and then post sigil because Leshrak's sigil is
It was like 87 cents,
Yeah.
and so you can get a cheaper version of it if you get post is one.
yeah. So looking at these, you got
It's a meta card.
this was the secret inclusion, right? This was
Yep.
the behind the pack cards.
Correct. And just so everyone's aware for later, I didn't include like the secret inclusions for like the pricing of it.
Yeah.
Jet Medallion though, $34 out of that set. And then you got a
Actually,
$20
the cheapest.
commander.
It's the cheapest jet medallion you can pick up right now.
Yeah, not
Wow.
shocking. Still holds a premium though, because you
Yeah.
know, if you want it, you
Yeah.
got to pay what it's worth.
It's a pretty good. It's honestly a pretty good layer.
It was a good layer to pick up if you didn't mind the art.
Yeah.
But yeah, for one of these cards is not like the others.
Yeah, no kidding. That's because this is just such a niche card that nobody runs.
It's a pet card. It must be a pet card of his.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So those are our most and least valuable cards.
Yeah.
Looking at layers. Top 5 most valuable layers and least valuable layers overall.
Yeah. So the totally spaced out.
Now,
Galaxy foils-
really quick, one more time, because I know that there's some people that are seeing this right now and they're going, "Wait a minute, those aren't the most valuable layers,"
Right,
because
'cause
there's stuff
doesn't
that came
have-
out OG that is
OG stuff. Like we don't have like the OG Cats layer, right?
Right.
We don't have the Onigiri one.
These are-
yeah. There's
2022.
no Kaleidoscope Killers. This is 2022 and to now.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll probably add the other ones in later so we can do this again. Yeah, just to 2022. So
Got it.
totally spaced out. This is basically getting carried by Strip Mine being like $38 and everything else just being worth a good chunk of money.
Yeah, I mean, Fabled Passage at 28, Command Beacon at 27. Like, Command Beacon is so cheap. You can go get this card. It's printed everywhere, right? I'm not
Command
unaware.
Beacon's got
They're just
shit.
cool. It's just cool
Command
space
Beacon,
shit.
like $7
But
still.
this has gotten up into the $7-8 range. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a stack of these
yeah,
from opening Commander Legends.
a lot of people don't have them. Like I don't have a Command Beacon just because like if you came in to Magic like after or like when Legends was winding down, like you just don't have those.
Yeah, Jake,
and-
that's actually a good idea for a video is check your Legends bulk before Masters starts being spoiled, because a lot of those cards from Legends are going to get reprinted.
What was it printed at in that set?
Rare.
Oh, rare. It was
Yeah.
printed at rare.
But Ash Barons in this is like an $8 card.
Yeah.
Which is
Because
that's
all of the art is cool
Yeah.
space shit.
And it's that
It
Galaxy
is.
foil treatment as well. This
But
was
I
the
think what
only foil.
Ash Barons comes with your Shivan Dragon when you say, "Hi, I'd like to try Magic."
Yeah.
For sure.
The
100%.
strip mine is sick. I love strip mine and wasteland. They're two of my favorite kind of just catch-all destroy land cards. I do kind of like the stuff for commander that will destroy a non-basic and then replace itself, like a ghost quarter or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And the new demolition field out of Brothers.
Yeah.
Showcase Streets of New Capenna is our second most expensive in the last year at $85.
And 70 of it is Atraxa. So congratulations, Atraxa. Everyone likes you.
$68, baby.
Yeah.
$11 for a good four color commander option. One of the only 4 color commander options if you're not doing partners. And then another 4 color option, but people are like, I'd just rather do partners.
Yeah.
Yidris has fallen from grace. Yeah, that one's completely carried by
This would have been a
Atraxa.
good one for me to pick up, and I just didn't. I just passed on it.
The next one, I think, is the sleeper hit, though, that we all passed on it. I didn't even play
Nobody
Warhammer.
cared, dude.
No one cared about this, and it shows. Click on the Sky Sovereign. Now, card sees a lot more play now with Mono G in Pioneer, but holy moly. Like, Aggravated Salt was great, but this is a $4 card.
Yeah, for $20.
Wow.
Because it's a cool orc spaceship. Looks like a bomber.
Yeah.
The Vulture.
Playable commander, $12. Playable commander card in Krenko tints.
Franco's is under $1.
I actually picked this up, a foil of this, for like $7 or $8 2 months ago when I did an initial wave of ordering for my Dahada Legendary Reanimator deck. Because this can come down on 3 before Dahada comes down on turn 4, be made indestructible, and start attacking and creating 1/1s. But yeah, I mean, it is. And looking at Krenko too, look at the prints of Krenko. Look at your choices for art of Krenko. Up until Multiverse, or what is it called? March of the Machine, there is no other option. If you want to bling out your Krenko, you gotta go with the original Mark B art.
Yeah, I like that new update to the art. I like the Secret Lair the most, though.
Yeah, agreed. That was the one I wanted to order there because I
But
didn't.
if you don't, this is an easy pass for people that are like, I don't like Warhammer. Like, what is this? You know? And it shows.
It's
The
cool,
aggravated
though.
is a big deal, though.
Right.
That's a good one.
It's the aggravated is the entire. I mean, $40. This
$40.
this
I
was
mean,
one of the premiums, right? That was like a $49.99 layer, if I'm not.
I think it
mistaken.
was.
But
J
still,
Dub says passed on all the Warhammer. Yeah.
$40 for one enchantment. That's pretty sweet. We got Nils Ham.
Which we talked about. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was a good pickup.
Yep. That's a good one. We got
And then
Yoji Shinkawa.
which is the Thoughtseize one, which we looked at.
no
So no
Yoji.
surprise there.
Yoji was the one under
this
this.
is sorry. This is the guy. He does
Metal
all
Gear.
the Metal Gear
Metal
art,
Gear
which was
art,
an
right.
instant pickup for me because I play all those games.
This is one that I
Oh, nice.
missed and I regret because I missed it. This is one that I definitely wanted and didn't pick up.
I mean, all these cards
Yeah.
are a high price. The Skull Clamp is pretty insane compared, and they keep reprinting Skull Clamp in the new decks, and this one still holds a pretty high price.
Yep.
Buzz Fuzz, I was in
$79.
that same boat with you. Same boat.
Nils and Yoji both around that $80 mark.
Yeah. So if you're looking at in the last year, if you bought Lairs, the most expensive ones are worth $80, right? So if you got them and we're talking two of those are foils, so they're a little high, but if you were just spending regular $40, so they've doubled,
Yeah.
you know,
In a year.
so you
Not bad.
spent $29.99, maybe $39.99.
But look at the other version of it, right? We already saw Floating World where
Absolutely.
there's like no value across any of those. We looked at that. What was in the Siddharth one?
Oh man, this one was, I don't even remember. I remember skipping it.
Siddharth. I need to learn how to spell.
Oh yeah, three lands.
Oh,
This was the Concordant
right.
right after we got Concordant.
It was the Crossroads,
Or-
right?
or was it
Volgar
right
said
before?
it in chat.
Yeah.
It was
So it,
right before we got the reprint because we were excited about a cool art reprint, Ghost Horses, and people are hiding from them. But
mhm.
we almost immediately, I think,
Oh,
while
bro,
this one
I
was still
remember
for
when we-
sale.
We
Oh,
reviewed this one, and this was a huge pass because look, it's got Nomad Outpost,
And
which
an
is
island.
An island
Yeah.
and Ghost Quarter.
And a Ghost
Although I will
Quarter,
say,
it's-
if you need
it's
Ghost
awful.
Quarter, pick it up from here. It's $1. The sketch is $1.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
The sketch is kind of a cool take on it. Yeah.
that's kind of a good note. That's
There
a
you
good
go.
I
note.
actually sniped like 4 of these Ghost Quarters just because people bought Concordant Crossroads because they wanted that, and then
Are you
dumped
coming on
everything
our
else.
stream to pump your single specs? God damn it, Spectre.
None of this is financial
Everybody
advice.
go
The
buy 10
island-
copies of the,
The
sketch
island is
Ghost Quarter.
sexy, but
Look,
the problem is
Caveat
that
this, remember, I bought the stupid hideaway land layer. Don't listen.
don't listen to Spectre. The island for me, it would be a lot cooler if we weren't so just up to our gills in full art lands.
Oh yeah.
Brimmed to the tits with a bunch of basic full arts, baby.
That's right.
Wayne Reynolds, we saw that was the dwarf one. Warm.
Yeah.
Wayne Reynolds, we had a whole dwarf layer with SRAM Senior and some others. We got a Torbrand
That one was
sketch.
such an easy pass. Even though I love the SRAM, I was just like, this is not worth it.
Balthor at 10 and represents half of the total value now of that set. So yeah, kind of a woof. Love Wayne Reynolds. Big fan of Wayne Reynolds. Not a big fan of that layer. Now, we also got Post Malone, The Lands. And dude,
What a stinker.
God,
is
you can
just-
say that again.
this is just such a miss. This is just such a miss. Like, oh my god, dude, why not just put gold signatures on them or something? I would have preferred these. Cool new art. Mark Poole, Ron Spears, Drew Tucker, Donatello. I mean, Giancola. Like, just to name it, there are fantastic artists on this set.
Yeah.
But for me personally,
Someone scribbled on them.
it looks like someone scribbled on all of them. I get the thought, it just didn't work out, and they should have never made it past the committee that makes these decisions, because it's
I think he probably put time into it, as much time as he had during the day. Like maybe
This-
like
This has nothing to do with Post, right? Like,
Yeah.
This is all to do with the yes man at WotC they assigned to be his PR relation.
Yeah, probably.
This is such a miss.
They're
Such
like,
a
what do you
miss.
think of this? And he's like fucking around, and they're like, yeah, I mean, that's great.
What if I drop Jace the Mind Sculptor on it? Yeah, I guess that looks like him.
I was gonna say kind of. It is a hooded figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
this for me was a very easy pass. Yeah.
I mean, I
not
will
surprised
still
to
say-
see that that's very cheap.
It
Like all
costs
these
you-
lands are like $4 still, right? Like it's not like they're zero. but
This
they're
had to be
not.
the secret inclusion, right? I don't remember
It
this
was.
being in the original
So
set.
click on that because I'm not including these secret inclusions in it.
So that's
Yeah.
a $10, $11 card. I mean, it's a pretty
Okay.
sweet pay. If you ignore the scribbles at the bottom, it's a pretty sweet fabled passage. I like
Yeah,
the
so that
retro.
brings it up to-
I like the art.
Is that new art? It is, right?
Oh yeah, gotta be.
So that brings it up to like 35. So you would have like broken even if you bought the lands.
We've barely
Yeah.
gotten new fabled passage art. Only off these 2 secret layers have we even seen new takes on that. So when we got the retro as well, that was a promo.
Silent
Did they not
E.
print Fabled Passage in Eldraine? That seems like a miss. Flavor.
I remember when we got Fabled Passage originally in Eldraine, and everybody was like, oh my god, we have a new fetch land. And then it was like, it was printed just so many times.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
Totally normal.
This is the one with Void Winnower and Vengevine.
Oh, I remember this
This is
one.
great. So Goblin Settler was like the huge
Reveal.
pick here.
It was.
And this card plummeted.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's awful. It's 4 for a 1/1. And when it enters, it destroys the land. It's terrible.
The starter 99 version is still $48. Wait, now I gotta see this on MTG stocks.
Goblin Settler was one of those cards, Joel, when I built my original Wart deck, Black Red Wart.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh, well, I have to get a goblin that destroys the land. And I remember hard pass on this because I was like, man, I'm in college. I don't have freaking $25 for a Goblin Settler. And now, I mean, yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time. The Imperial Recruiters, the
Imperial Seal, yeah.
Imperial Seals, all of these cards
Green
that,
Tutor.
I mean, what was the one that we got? I mean, all of the Portal stuff that they slowly but surely bring out.
Right.
Yeah, it just, once there's a lot of copies out, you see how much demand there is. It really is just like, if a card is scarce and old, then the small amount of players that are interested in it, it's enough to prop up the price. But as soon as they satiate the masses, that's when you see the real price of the card. So
Wow. These are these all versions here. I'm trying to sort as you're seeing a lot of like special versions of cards here popping up.
Sarah Angel I got. Yeah.
ooh,
7th edition
Ooh.
foil Sarah Angel.
it's got to be like $600. Is that $1,000 card?
It's not graded right now, so yeah, I think it's in the $600-700 range.
$703.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That
That was key art for that set.
I had a newer one. I had like a 10th edition foil Sarah Angel, and my friend in middle school, because we didn't know fucking any better, was like, hey, I want a new one. I was like, well, I have 2. He's like, well, just swap them with me. I was like, okay, sure. So he gave me his 7th edition Sarah Angel for my 10th edition foil Sarah Angel. And I managed to
pulled
keep it.
a fast one.
I had no idea.
I know, I'm joking with you.
But like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Let's pop through this one real fast. We've already looked at a lot of these, but this is the last little chunk of info
Yeah,
here.
so it kind of just, it's the same layers we've seen them, but this is just in terms of what it was for the price versus what they are now. You can kind of see like, hey, that Warhammer one was actually quite a bit of money. Just in terms of like, hey, if I bought a bunch of these, like profit wise, I would have come out pretty far ahead.
Wow.
So explain this column here.
So it's the layer cost, which is whatever it costs, $49.99.
30, 40, 50.
Versus what the the price is. So if you see, so column I is the price of the total layer, not counting the secret cards, what the full total of all those cards are worth.
Yeah.
So like as we saw, about $80 for most of these, and then the next column is that minus the price. So this is how much money you have if after paying for it.
Right. So we've got ones that we saw up here for sure because they were our most expensive, and you're making, to your point, they double from that 40 to that 80-ish range, and it shows you make about 40 or 50 on the ones that really pop.
Yep.
And then you're losing anywhere from $5 to $21 on the layers that go the opposite direction.
Yeah, which doesn't seem, but that's like half the money, right? Like, so you're either up 50 or you down 50. So that doesn't sound like gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, for me, this is really interesting stuff, and it's been a pretty cool video to be able to go through this kind of thing. And
hop over to the pivot now, because this will show you kind of what you were asking for too, and I would maybe back this out a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can see these are all the layers that we have. I have all the cards in here too.
Wow.
That we've talked about. And if you go to the bottom, and we can do this by individual layer and in drops as well, you can kind of see these grand totals here. So we've got so that first column D, is the average card price in the layer at the time of announcement. So on average, a layer card costs around $6.51.
Yeah.
So, that's counting, planes and stuff or zeros. I put all the basics at zero. So on average, a card is worth $6.51.
Average secret layer cost of a card is $6.51. It's very interesting to me.
The average cost of those cards today is $5.
So on average, any card you buy in a secret layer is going to lose about $1.50 worth of value from what it is when you see it to what it is a year later.
Yes and no. This is counting. This is saying not that specific secret layer. All versions of that card are worth about $1.50 less.
I see.
Because if you look at the next few columns, we have whatever it was cost, and then we have the specific secret layer variant cost. So what we were just looking at, like, hey, that Atraxa is worth $60, even though Atraxa is only $17 to get any version of it. To have this specific version is actually about $60. So there's actually a market increase in cards that hold a surprising amount of value.
So there's certain standouts that kind of break the mold of what you would expect.
Yeah, if you find, like, as we were talking about there in the December Super Drop 2022, Welcome to the Fungal.
Yeah,
highlight that row. It was back up at the top, I believe. Yeah. So if we look at this, it was about every card in this set on average. You can actually click the plus sign there too, and we can look at the individual cards because I put them all in there.
I don't think it's showing me that because I'm on view only.
You're on view only. Wow, how could I do that to you? Hold on, I'll pop it open. There we go. So we can see everything that was offered in this layer is horrendous, right?
At the secret layer variant.
Right. It was like $3 for a Michaeloth, which was the most expensive card in this set. But if you look over in column H, what this actual secret layer cards are worth today, what?
Yeah. 700% increase on some of these. More.
People just want to have that. They want to have that something copy. Something a little different. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting and that's what we spoke to, right, with the underpurchased. It's the Winter Wonderland, the Eldraine Wonderland effect.
Yeah.
Where nobody wants the layer, and so it causes the price of one or more singles in that layer to just moon compared
There's
to their
that
OG
secret layer
price.
perfection. I don't even know how that layer was released, but like there's a Kodama's Reach that's like $100 card.
Yeah, but let's talk about the ones that Jake had his gut feeling about, right? Like the anime stuff. Obviously, we already saw the Genji Ito and the Yoji ones command a high price, right? Those are solid $50 over what they're offering, or what they cost to get in on. The other ones that I would say, aside from the cute stuff, because we saw like the Neil's ham is kind of cute. I would say the things that are specifically different: Fortnite, Warhammer, Post Malone, the stuff that
The real world, the licensed stuff.
Yeah, the licensed stuff. People want that, whether they're speccing or not. Like, you know, if you don't like that stuff, perhaps give it a second look, even if you're just going to hold on to it for a little bit.
That secret layer Fortnite has doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's
pretty
like,
wild.
I think it's all in Smuggler Copter too. Or is that one?
Yeah. Well, Fortnite also has God, doesn't it have a command tower in there? Pretty sure it does.
A board wipe, Wrath of God.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Triumph.
So Triumph. Yeah, Triumph. And the Grim Tutor is holding where it was. So, you know, that's solid.
Not bad.
Yeah, the battle bus. Yeah.
Y'all, if you
No,
want
there
to,
is a command tower, right? Right, Darth. It might be the secret.
It may be the secret. It could have been the secret in the lands one too.
Yeah.
y'all, if y'all want to look at this, I'm gonna ask Spec to post this in our Discord. So
Yeah, can do.
make sure that y'all are in our Discord. I'm gonna do another link. Hang on just a second. Take that second link, y'all. For some reason, that first link is not working for us. Make sure you jump in the Discord. This info will be there.
But yeah, cute stuff. The imaginary friends total that went up. That's a $20.
And licensed turns out.
And licensed stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Spec, we definitely appreciate you putting all this together,
Dude,
man.
thank you so much for putting this together. I mean, this is a massive amount of work.
Look, guys, I would have done it anyway. I do this. Myself.
You're the numbers guy. I would love to see this going all the way back to the OG secret layers so that we can really dig in and see what makes a secret layer worth investing in.
Yeah, you know, this was interesting. Just doing the numbers myself, I found, you know, some of this cool stuff. So I'm going to definitely dig in and get the rest of them locked in so we can, you know, do a deeper dive and actually see, you know, what's it look after like the inception of the first secret layers, like, you know, where
I want to like go in there and click through and look at some specific stuff. Yeah.
I'll pop this all open.
Talking about the license stuff, you got $30 in the went away. $30 in the
No, he just expanded everything.
Yeah.
We got $30 worth of value in the price of the 3 Transformers ones. Hasn't really exploded yet, but that one was still fairly recent. That one hasn't even been out a year yet. We'll rock and roll.
Pretty sweet.
Spec, thank you for joining us. Big claps in chat for Spec. Thank you so much, sir. Definitely we'll dig into this further in the future.
Cool. I'll see you next secret layer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it'll be pretty soon.
A couple weeks, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Chat. That's gonna do it for us tonight. Jake, anything else you wanted to cover?
You know, I think we covered some good stuff. You know, there's some stuff that's on my radar in the future. We covered the Pinkerton thing in the beginning. We kind of talked about that. We talked through kind of the process of what happened there. We do have a video of the original footage that was removed by that channel. If you want to check it out on our channel, we do have some of those leaks. If you want to take a closer look at some of the aftermath cards that were spoiled in that leak, we do have that. And yeah, after that, we talked about secret layers. We talked about the new one that came out. And then we just went through and did a deep dive on some of the old stuff. So yeah, I think we had some pretty good segments tonight. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Everybody, we appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. We'll be live again next Monday, I believe. We may have a big video coming out Monday. It might come out Tuesday, so we might be live on Monday. We'll let you know in the Discord. That's where you need to be if you want the inside track on all the info related to Jam. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening and a fantastic weekend this weekend. We are almost out of April and into May.
God.
So the year is rolling right along.
I guess the year is rolling right along, huh? It's going to be pretty soon. We're going to be in Vegas in September.
Sheesh. Yeah, seriously. That'll be right after the 1-year birthday of my child. 1 year of a child.
Right around the corner. Hey, that's got to be a pretty good
things just keep happening.
Achievement. It's a pretty good achievement. You got baby to 1.
Light of my life. Everybody, love you all, mean it. We'll catch you in Discord. Good night.
Have a good one.